Our story unfolds within the Grand Awakening Plaza, a fateful day Lin Han had anticipated for countless years. A world thrumming with palpable anticipation, where the fantastical powers of video games have bled into reality. Here, individuals receive their destined skills and abilities. Upon their 18th year of life, they are assigned roles from epic classes like Attack, Support, and the Mundane Life class. Those granted life class abilities were seen as no more than common folk. The support class path in this world, however, demands a vast fortune of resources to even begin, making their ascension to power an almost impossible climb, without the backing of a colossal family or organization. A cruel twist of fate for some who despised their roles. Peaceful souls wishing for a normal existence were shackled to the violent attack class against their will. But for our protagonist, Lin Han, becoming a warrior, a mighty attack class wielder, was his ultimate ambition, the very destiny he craved to seize. This realm is scarred with innumerable dungeons, forbidden zones, hidden realms, and the monstrous beasts that guard them. And the sole path for Lin Han to achieve true greatness was to awaken as a mighty frontline combatant and vanquish legions of monsters. He was utterly convinced he was forged to be the pinnacle of all warriors. Just then, his closest companion, Wang Qian, tapped his shoulder, pulling Lin Han from his reverie, reminding him it was his moment to ascend the stage, not to be lost in his own world. Their teacher's sharp gaze pierced him, a silent command to move. Lin Han, startled, was met with the voice of his homeroom teacher, Yang Stui, who chided him to quit his fantasies and hurry over for the sacred awakening ritual. Lin Han sprinted towards the ceremonial altar, his friend yelling a promise to hunt beasts together soon. As Lin Han stepped upon the altar, the presiding mage instructed him to enter the circle and not to fight whatever force he was about to experience. Lin Han was certain of his destiny to be a warrior, as one's awakened powers were tied to their innate potential and the strength of their will. Lin Han's determination was absolute. He had already honed his body to a razor's edge for this very day. The moment his foot touched the altar, an immense pillar of swirling azure and emerald light erupted around him, a phenomenon utterly unlike the others. It pulsed with a terrifyingly vast reservoir of mana. The crowd gasped, wondering what legendary ability this boy would awaken. Whispers spread that he might even manifest a mythical hidden class. It was then the teacher confirmed their suspicions. This was a hidden class. The sheer mana levels proved it. The true sign was the impossible display of natural phenomena. Everyone was now convinced this young man was fated to rule from the peak. And in that instant, the status window of Lin Han's new job materialized. The reveal, a hidden class, the life cleric. But that single word, life, shattered Lin Han's spirit completely. His fate was sealed. He was now just a support healer. A deafening silence fell over Lin Han, words failing him. The ritual's mage could only mutter under his breath, demanding to know why he considered it a bad thing, especially when the awakening triggered such a grand natural event, right before their very eyes. The mage explained that a cleric is fundamentally a secondary role. Regardless of the power of their supportive incantations, they are eternally condemned to be just a support, and more damningly, it was nearly impossible for a cleric to advance in level. Their advancement requirements were impossibly rare magic cores, only found in the wake of great natural phenomena. For this reason, no cleric in all of history had surpassed level 10, and so, it was branded as the most useless occupation of all time. Wang Qian was utterly floored, because according to Lin Han, possessing a hidden class should put him on par with those who wield forbidden magic. The teacher tried to console Lin Han with weak words, saying he should be grateful just to have received a hidden class. But deep down, she feared for him, wondering if Lin Han was now doomed to live a life of obscurity without a legacy. As dusk fell, Lin Han walked home, staring blankly at his status. Among them were 3 attributes: power, strength, and durability, all exceeding 100. These would have been legendary stats had he awoken as a warrior, but for him now they were tragically useless. He moved on to inspect the skills that came with his job, and saw they were unique as promised. But at a single glance, he knew none of them were truly powerful. Lin Han's heart sank with self-pity. He thought, it would have been a greater mercy to awaken as a common life class than this cursed cleric. A class that was eternally shackled, never to rise beyond level 10, due to its impossible advancement requirements. It was then a notification flashed, heralding a new system.
Myriade augmentation.
Lin Han realized his ultimate cheat system had finally arrived. It granted him the godlike power to augment his stats by 10,000-fold, a one-time boost while also letting him augment any chosen item an infinite number of times. Without hesitation, Lin Han commanded the system to augment all his stats. Instantly, the system multiplied his every attribute by 10,000. His stats exploded, reaching numbers beyond all comprehension. And it wasn't merely his stats that were magnified. The very skills bestowed by his worthless cleric job were transformed. Every one of his abilities became unbelievably overpowered, ascending to the same tier as world-ending forbidden magic. Spells like the resurrection of an entire undead legion, depravity, which inflicted crippling dual debuffs on his foes, and Chaos Domain, which randomly unleashed forbidden-class magic attacks. Suddenly, Lin Han's loyal friend, Wang Qian, caught up, explaining he'd been searching for him everywhere. Lin Han had simply vanished after his disastrous awakening. He reminded Lin Han of the Academy recruitment exams in just 7 days, proposing they hunt monsters together in a nearby dungeon to level up in time and secure their place in a good academy. Just then, a sneering voice called for them to stop their pathetic delusions. The voice belonged to Gao Chong, a man whose foul attitude perfectly matched his smug expression. He mocked that Lin Han would be lucky to even get into an academy, and even if he did, the best he could hope for was doing menial labor. Wang Qian erupted, telling him he had no right to run his mouth just because he awoke an attack class job an assassin. Gao Chong was the type who despised Lin Han, so he jeered that results meant nothing. Bottom feeders like him weren't destined for greatness, only for failure. Lin Han simply ignored him and told Gao Chong to move aside. Gao Chong screamed, how dare he maintain that arrogant demeanor, when he should know his place, especially now that he was no longer the school's celebrated genius, and with an occupation so pathetic and worthless that he could flatten him with a single punch anytime. But to Gao Chong's utter astonishment, it was Lin Han who landed a punch first, sending him flying into a nearby wall with a sickening impact.
Gao Chong met Lin Han's glacial, unforgiving stare.
As he was asked to repeat his words, "Go on," Gao Chong's cronies rushed to see if he was still breathing. Lin Han stood his ground, cracking his knuckles with menace. Gao Chong declared it was nothing but a lucky shot, and that Lin Han's luck would run out once he surpassed level 10 in just a few short days. He threatened to make Lin Han regret the day he was ever born for daring to oppose him. Lin Han cracked his fingers again. That simple sound was enough to send a wave of terror through them. They scrambled away, with Gao Chong screaming that he should just wait. Wang Qian was now positive that Lin Han possessed the potential to become someone legendary. Lin Han brushed it off, saying they should just head home, ignoring his friend's effusive praise along the way. On his journey home, Lin Han had to navigate crumbling streets, musing on when the government would ever bother to fix them. Upon finally arriving at his home, Lin Han hesitated, unsure how to break the news of his job to his parents. He knew they were bound to be disappointed. Still, he entered the house with heavy footsteps. The moment he stepped inside, a magnificent aroma filled the air, and he asked if they were celebrating. His mother and father were both there. They said they had left work early because of his job awakening ceremony, and wished to commemorate the occasion with him. His mother gently told him to go wash his hands for dinner. Later that night, gathered around the table, his father beamed with joy at the momentous occasion of their son finally stepping into adulthood. Lin Han was just about to confess the truth of his awakening, but they had already learned of it from his teacher. They reassured him that even if he didn't get the warrior class, it was far from the end of the world. There was much he could still accomplish. They lifted his spirits with a celebratory toast. Lin Han, moved, promised them he would never surrender. After the meal, Lin Han offered to help his mother with the dishes, but she assured him it was fine and he should relax and watch TV. When he moved to the living room, his father presented him with a gift, an ancient, ornate box. Lin Han was puzzled, asking what it was. His father replied that it was a gift for him, and that this box held priceless heirlooms that had been passed down through their family line. His mother chimed in, saying how his father looked now. Their family was once a very prestigious one. Lin Han expressed his disbelief, and his father scolded him, calling him a little brat and insisting that though they were poor now, their ancestors had once held significant power and influence. His father instructed him to take this treasure on his training expedition. The very next day, late that night, Lin Han opened the box to find a gold-tier mage set, a powerful staff, and an enchanted robe. A set that would normally fetch a price of at least $1 million. And the best part, it possessed both formidable offensive and defensive capabilities. Lin Han wasted not a single second. He unleashed his augmentation ability on these artifacts. Once the 10,000-fold augmentation was complete, the items were reborn as legendary tier treasures, worth billions. Lin Han was now armed with the absolute perfect equipment for his upcoming dungeon conquest. He knew he had struck an unbelievable stroke of luck, and now that his personal stats were already god tier, Lin Han knew the world would soon know him as the close combat healer. Lin Han immediately began plotting his leveling progress. His goal: shatter the first cycle's barrier and reach level 10. Then, ascend to even greater heights. For this, he needed to absorb the primordial elements of the world. This required him to venture into lands ravaged by natural disasters or catastrophic events. He scoured online forums and discovered that the kingdom of Heizei was a vast coastline, dotted with numerous volcanoes and islands. Coincidentally, this coastline was infested with monsters and hurricanes, with powerful gales constantly tormenting the water's surface, frequently birthing terrible disasters. Lin Han received a message from his friend, Wang Qian, urging him to join him for leveling in the local dungeon. But Lin Han had to refuse, explaining that it would be far more efficient if they leveled up solo. Wang Qian assumed Lin Han was just trying not to burden him, so they made a pact to venture forth for leveling together, after they had both surpassed level 10. However, the true reason for Lin Han's refusal was that Wang Qian would be in grave peril in the region he was about to journey into. He went to rest, and the next morning, Lin Han, armed and ready, made his way to the transfer square. There, he acquired a ticket to teleport to the treacherous kingdom of Heizei. After a swift identity confirmation, the transfer square activated, sending him through a shimmering portal, which deposited Lin Han directly into the kingdom of Heizei. Lin Han immediately saw the prominent warning signs upon arrival. He could tell with a single glance that this land would be brimming with danger from the outset, as a ferocious beast ambushed him. Without warning, the monster assaulted Lin Han with deadly ice spears, but just moments before they could impale him, Lin Han was enveloped by the magical shield of his sage robe, which had activated in the nick of time. The monster, enraged, let out a deafening shriek, sending powerful tremors across the entire area. Lin Han felt a wave of pressure wash over him, the psychic assault making his head feel like it would split apart. He received an immediate alert from his system, informing him the shield could repel physical and magical attacks, but was completely vulnerable to psychic assaults. Lin Han refused to be underestimated by this beast, so he began to cast one of his devastating forbidden spells, the Chaos Domain. Suddenly, the entire sky turned a hellish, burning red. A colossal meteor materialized, hurtling down from the heavens. The meteor struck the exact location where the monster that dared attack Lin Han stood, unleashing an unbelievably catastrophic impact on a city-wide scale. Meanwhile, in a secret headquarters that monitored magical readings, an organization tracking magical waves across the land received frantic alerts of a massive spike in magical energy values, emanating from Hanyu City in the Heizei Kingdom. The on-duty supervisor was completely stunned, and they immediately began to question if it was a hostile invasion. The city where the magical waves had surged was situated right in the center of their coastal defense line, so the chief was certain that, if it were an enemy force, they would have been detected far sooner. He rushed to the central monitoring room and stared at the screen, displaying the epicenter. A man ordered the monitoring team to cross-reference their data for any powerful human within their ranks, capable of wielding forbidden spells on a whim. The supervisor immediately contacted his superior, informing him that the entire city of Haiyu must enter a full defensive state. He ordered them to pinpoint the origin of the magic that caused this apocalyptic threat without delay. They needed to act before the next catastrophe. Meanwhile, across the other cities along the vulnerable coastline, the water levels were rising relentlessly to terrifying heights. This spurred the authorities to issue a desperate alert to all citizens, imploring them to evacuate their homes and retreat to the central shelter immediately. A mass evacuation was now underway, a race against time before this disaster consumed the mainland. People were running for their lives in a state of chaos. Then, a colossal shield of pure magic materialized, blocking the raging waters from encroaching further into the city. The defense line soldiers yelled, asking if the shield was holding strong. The soldiers reported to their superiors, confirming they had successfully repelled the first devastating wave. The second squad of the defense lines was also in position, standing by for their next command. At that very moment, our protagonist, Lin Han, was joyfully examining the magnificent rewards he had amassed from slaughtering monsters in this chaotic region. And though the effort had been considerable, he had finally acquired the necessary experience points to ascend to level 10, along with a trove of powerful items. The system offered its congratulations, and then prompted him, asking if he wished to proceed with enhancing these items by a factor of 10,000. Lin Han was ecstatic at the very thought. He began by enhancing a rare skill book he had acquired from his latest spoils. The skill book of Chanting Boost was instantly transmuted into a forbidden tier spell. It now granted Lin Han the ability to cast any verbal chant, requiring magic with but a single thought. Lin Han felt a surge of incredible power, possessing the means to eliminate monsters without a single word. Then he sensed the situation in the region was spiraling out of control, as the nearby volcanoes became dangerously unstable, an unforeseen consequence of him using his forbidden spells. Lin Han followed his map to locate the source of the catastrophes, primordial fire energy. Along his path, he witnessed countless monsters that had already been incinerated to ash. At last, he successfully found the fire element amidst the volcanic chaos, and secured it safely within his inventory. Lin Han could scarcely believe how easily he had obtained the fire element, and now, he decided he should press his advantage and claim the wind element as well. Lin Han once again followed his map, arriving at the storm-tossed waters, where he believed the powerful wind element resided. Lin Han traversed these treacherous, catastrophic waters by expertly riding upon his enchanted sage's staff, and after a perilous journey, he finally located the wind element. Once Lin Han's mission in the kingdom of Heizi was complete, he was overjoyed, having collected not just 2 elemental sources, but also a vast hoard of valuable equipment and materials. He was certain to make a massive profit by selling them off, and with that, he began his journey home, soaring on his staff. However, upon arriving at this city's transfer square, he was greeted by numerous emergency alerts for all citizens, announcing the city had entered a level 1 state of emergency. Until the crisis was over, all teleportation devices were shut down. The populace was strongly advised to flee to the shelters immediately. Lin Han witnessed people scrambling around in absolute terror. He attempted to ask a nearby worker what was transpiring. The worker quickly informed him this area was now closed. Lin Han pressed for an explanation, and the worker told him of a mysterious force that had triggered this catastrophe. She urged him to follow her to the safety of the shelter.
Asiling realization daunat o nelayenahan.
This mysterious, catastrophic force was none other than the forbidden spell he just used. It was all his doing. He had gravely underestimated the power of his forbidden spell, and now, the monstrous tsunami he triggered was on the verge of annihilating the entire city. He knew he had to take responsibility for his actions, so Lin Han raced out alone, heading for the besieged humming city, the city currently facing the full wrath of the tsunami. The brave magic soldiers had been relentlessly pouring their mana into maintaining the vital wall of life. Although the soldiers were facing an impossible struggle and had nearly exhausted all of their reserves, they had approximately 5 more minutes until the next tsunami wave hit. Hearing this dire report, the commander issued a desperate order to summon any individual level 30 or above to help defend the fragile wall of life, and to send out urgent requests for aid from all neighboring cities. This was a battle from which there could be no retreat, because the very existence of the city was at stake. Soon, the soldiers began reporting numerous cracks, spreading across the surface of the wall of life. And now that it had come to this desperate moment, the commander had no choice but to enact their final strategy. He commanded everyone to use every last drop of their magic, to warp the very edges of the defensive wall, and attempt to force back the tsunami itself with every ounce of power they had left. the shape of the wall of life began to contort, and the soldiers started to collapse one by one, their mana completely drained. The commander feared that the great city of Humming would truly be annihilated today. Then, from a nearby vantage point, Lin Han unleashed a single blessing of magic upon the weary soldiers. The spell instantly filled them all with enough energy to continue the fight. They quickly refocused their revitalized magic on mending the wall and trapping the tsunami, and soon, the soldiers reported back in triumph, announcing they had successfully contained the monstrous tsunami. The commander immediately gave the order to quickly activate the teleportation device and banish the trapped tsunami somewhere far, far away. And once the sea levels finally receded with this process, they had successfully averted the complete destruction of the city. The soldiers and their commander were ecstatic with their victory, and the person solely responsible for their miraculous success, Lin Han, was relieved that even though it was a close call, he had saved the city from being erased by the spell he had unleashed. His phone suddenly rang, and Lin Han answered. It was his worried mother, frantically asking if he was unharmed, because the city had been struck by a terrible tsunami, and he had not been answering any of her calls. Lin Han quickly reassured her that he was safe, explaining that he had made it to the shelter in time, and that the crisis had now been completely resolved. After promising her he would be returning soon, Lin Han flew back towards home with a new plan solidifying in his mind. His next step: undertake a class upgrade quest. Then, sell his spoils and improve his parents' lives with the fortune. Later, he made his way to the class advancement hall to accept his crucial second advancement quest. He was instructed to fill out a form, and after submitting it, he was presented with a detailed document to confirm that everything regarding the quest was correct. Lin Han glanced at the proposed quest and saw that it listed his role as simply a healer. Lin Han felt a surge of annoyance. The receptionist then explained there were two methods for receiving quests. One was to accept a quest based on her analysis of his class, or to receive a completely random quest assigned to him by the system, with a completely random difficulty grade. Lin Han chose the path of chance. She then asked him to place his hand on the large crystal ball and channel a small amount of magic into it. She assumed he was just another hopeful adventurer, gambling on getting a simple low-level quest by sheer luck. But when the system finally assigned his quest, she was utterly dumbfounded to see the quest grade was S rank. The mission: venture into the dreaded underground dungeon and hunt the fearsome Abyss Apostle to claim its Abyss Heart. Lin Han nonchalantly accepted the quest. The receptionist urgently advised him to reconsider his choice. She warned that accepting an S-rank quest was a guaranteed suicide mission for someone of the supposedly weak healer class. Lin Han calmly reiterated that he was fine with this quest, and so it was officially assigned to him. The details of the legendary S-rank quest were then broadcast on the display pillar, and everyone present in the advancement hall could read them. They were all stunned into silence, witnessing a single person daring to embark on such a perilous undertaking. The receptionist could only wish him the best of luck on his journey. Just then, a trio of men called out to Lin Han, led by a red-haired man. He mentioned they had just read about him receiving the S-grade quest. The man made a bold promise to Lin Han. They would assist him in completing this quest if he took them with him, and they certainly looked powerful enough to back up such a claim. However, these men gave off a distinctly sinister aura, so Lin Han flatly rejected their offer, stating he preferred to go solo. The bald man in their group did not take this rejection well and lunged to strike Lin Han, but Lin Han's foot met his face first, sending him careening into the far wall. Every witness to this exchange was left utterly speechless. They found it impossible to believe he was merely a healer. The bald man's pride was shattered, having been felled by a simple healer. But even as his underlings suggested they retaliate, their bald leader struck one of them down, saying they couldn't risk a fight in such a public place. However, he vowed he would not let Lin Han off so easily in the future. Lin Han then proceeded to the bustling trading market. He informed an employee there that he wished to sell some equipment. She led him to a private room and politely asked what he wished to sell. In response to her question, Lin Han emptied his inventory of materials and equipment onto the table before her. All of the items radiated a brilliant, powerful light. She quickly excused herself to fetch their manager immediately. Soon, the manager arrived and introduced himself to Lin Han as Lu, a level 46 master appraiser. Lin Han was impressed to find such a high-level individual working in a simple trading market, It meant this establishment was truly one of the most powerful guilds in existence. Lu activated his appraisal skill, and he instantly assessed the value of all the materials brought by Lin Han to be a staggering 23 million. Lin Han considered this a reasonable price. He then proceeded to reveal 2 more items, a pair of swords. These were clearly of a much higher quality than the other items. He asked what price these 2 would fetch. Lu examined the blades, chanting his appraisal skill over the items. Once his appraisal was complete, Lu informed Lin that these items were unquestionably of legend grade. He then offered a breathtaking 140 million for them as a matching set. Lin Han accepted the deal, and manager Lu, seeing his vast potential, presented Lin Han with an exclusive VIP black card. He guaranteed Lin Han that he would now receive the highest level of service from their guild as a valued VIP from this day forward. Lin Han expressed his gratitude and mentioned he also wished to purchase some skill books from them. Lu happily provided him with the books, and as he was departing, Lin Han once again used his augmentation, multiplying the power of those skill books by 10,000. The result, they became a forbidden grade curse, granting him an almost godlike perspective of his surroundings, and alerting him to any approaching danger. Lin Han was now confident that no threat could approach him undetected, so he embarked on his dangerous dungeon quest. He made a stop at the Dungeon Information Guild, and purchased intel on the nearby Abyss Apostles from them. After Lin Han had acquired this vital information, he sensed that something was amiss in the area, so he decided to swiftly deal with the Abyss Apostles and retreat. His instincts were spot on, as the bald-headed man from before appeared to be stalking him, peeking from behind a nearby wall. Lin Han journeyed to the location indicated on the map, the supposed spawning ground of the fearsome Abyss Apostles. As he delved deeper, Lin Han finally encountered an Abyss Apostle in person, and it was every bit as ferocious as its rank suggested. This was the target of his S-rank quest. Lin Han decided to test its power with a simple lightning spell. He attacked the Abyss Apostle with a bolt of thunder, and then waited to see if the creature was defeated. However, the Abyss Apostle retaliated against him again, and it appeared that Lin Han was unable to evade the attack. But in actuality, he deliberately absorbed the impact, sliding back without losing his footing. Lin Han's intention was to gauge the true strength of this Abyss Apostle. A single blow from it had cost him 18,000 health points, whereas the previous Ice Frog had only inflicted 800 health points of damage. It was then that he heard the grating voice of the bald man, mocking him for his foolish overconfidence before the Abyss Apostle. Lin Han was not pleased to see this bald man from the Three Snakes Mercenary Guild again. The man continued to taunt him, calling him far too arrogant for a support class. The bald man had even stalked Lin Han to the point that he was aware that Lin Han possessed over 100 million in funds. He intended to rob him of that fortune as well. Lin Han coldly told him he never should have dared to face him unless he had a death wish. The bald man continued his confident tirade, oblivious as an Abyss Apostle lunged at him from behind. The bald man then crushed the Abyss Apostle as if it were nothing, and revealed that he was, in fact, a second-tier expert. So, dispatching a monster like these fledgling Abyss Apostles was child's play for him. He then aimed his short sword at Lin Han and snarled, "Even if he were to murder Lin Han right here, no one would ever discover the truth." Lin Han, in secret, cast one of his forbidden spells, a spell that allowed him to manipulate minds, targeting the other 2 men from the bald guy's team. They instantly became bloodthirsty, turning and swinging their swords at him. The bald man shouted at them to cease their foolishness, and asked if they were acting this way over their wages, promising to increase their pay. But they were beyond reason, caring for nothing but killing. As the bald man offered them more money once more, he then warned them they were now asking for their own deaths, and a brutal fight erupted between them. However, the bald man was no match for them alone. They bit his arms, tearing chunks of flesh from them. Lin Han then asked the bald man if he still failed to comprehend his situation. Hearing this, the bald man demanded to know from Lin Han if he had done something to his men. Lin Han called him a fool for not realizing, even now, that those men were completely under his control. The bald man found this impossible to accept. After all, Lin Han was merely a level 10 supporter. How could he possibly cast such powerful spells? Lin Han warned the man not to assume that a support class couldn't cast devastating offensive spells, and to demonstrate this fact, he bid a final farewell to the bald man by casting another forbidden spell, the Chaos Domain. The bald man was consumed by terror at the insane magical power now radiating from Lin Han, as it obliterated everything within the dungeon. Lin Han calmly exited the dungeon, and suddenly, the entire dungeon imploded behind him. The level of destruction was far greater than Lin Han had anticipated. He wondered aloud if that dungeon was constructed of tofu or something to have shattered so easily. Meanwhile, at the Lunar Magic Detection Division, the team monitoring magical levels detected yet another massive spike in magical power levels. Their boss came rushing in, demanding to know what the emergency was now. The man reported that a terrifying energy fluctuation was emanating from the underground dungeon. They suspected it was the work of another forbidden curse. The boss was furious and he questioned, just what was this individual causing these disasters trying to do, and what exactly was he planning? The workers asked him what their next course of action should be. Instantly, the chief sent a dire warning to the city's mayor. The underground dungeon was on the absolute brink of total collapse. For the very survival of the professionals inside, he demanded an immediate and complete evacuation order. The mayor acted without a moment's hesitation. He authorized the head of the detection agency, a man named Sun Hyo, to assemble a rescue team and mobilize at once. Sun Hyo cautioned the mayor, finding the culprit would be nearly impossible. Far too many students had gained new powers in the recent awakening. The mayor dismissed that concern for a later time, insisting he focus solely on this critical rescue mission. He entrusted the fate of their entire city to Sun Hyo. Following the order, Sun Hyo roared for everyone to assemble and charge into the dungeon, vowing that not a single soul would be left behind. Meanwhile, the dungeon was crumbling with each passing second. Survivors were being desperately evacuated by the monitoring team. Lin Han felt a crushing wave of guilt for the chaos he had caused, so he invoked a forbidden, divine spell, Guardian Angel, a miracle capable of resurrecting any creature recently departed. Within a very brief window of time, Lin Han's magic resurrected those who had tragically perished in the destruction. Among the rescuers was Sun Hyo himself, also fighting tirelessly to save as many people as possible. And once the terrifying situation began to stabilize, one of the individuals who had been brought back to life spoke of having seen a glimpse of a beautiful, radiant angel. Sun Hyo, on the other hand, was determined to find this supreme, sovereign-level entity and make them pay for their reckless actions. At that very instant, Lin Han slipped right past him, vanishing into the crowd, hoping to remain unseen. After his successful escape, he made a beeline for the Profession Change Center. He hurriedly approached the receptionist from before, grabbing her hand, and urgently asked if they could begin the process immediately. She was taken aback, mistakenly thinking he was asking her on a date, but Lin Han swiftly corrected her misunderstanding. He was here to finally change his professional class, as he had now completed his quest and acquired the coveted core of the Abyss Apostle. She was absolutely astounded to hear that he had completed such a high-ranking mission in such a short amount of time. And this shocking news didn't take long to ripple through the crowd. They wondered if this man had truly accomplished this on his own. If so, then he was either an absolute monster, or a hidden master secretly nurtured by an immensely powerful family. Lin Han just smiled and claimed it was nothing but good fortune, as he'd simply stumbled upon two experts battling each other nearby. He was trying his hardest to avoid attracting any more attention. Meanwhile, everyone else was seething with jealousy. Some were already desperate to join his party. Now, Lin Han urged the receptionist to proceed with his job change, and they quickly went through the official process. After it was complete, Lin Han could feel the massive power gap between the second and first tier. The system then bestowed upon him another 10,000-fold augmentation, amplifying both his skills and his stats. It also granted him two entirely new abilities: Blessing of Light, which drastically reduces damage taken by him and his allies, and Shadow Concealment, to completely erase his presence. Lin Han immediately realized these were the perfect defensive and evasive skills he desperately needed. And as he exited the advancement hall, he saw people running about in a state of confused panic. Lin Han stopped one of them, asking what all the commotion was about. He replied that Minister Sun Hyo, suspecting a supreme sovereign was lurking nearby, had sensed that person's aura and was now actively hunting for him. Lin Han felt a wave of relief. He had changed his profession just in time. His new powers would prevent him from being perceived after the change. It was then he saw a news broadcast featuring Minister Sun Hyo, who was informing the public that the dungeon would remain sealed for maintenance, and in the meantime, no one was permitted to leave the city for security purposes. Lin Han was shocked by this unexpected announcement. This lockdown meant he wouldn't be able to purchase any more materials. Now, since leaving town was impossible, he decided to try his luck with the resourceful Manager Lu. Manager Lu greeted Lin Han with a warm, welcoming smile, mentioning he hadn't expected to see him again so soon. Lin Han took a seat as he was served a cup of fine tea. Lu presented him with a list of their available products, and informed him he was free to select anything he desired, and would also receive a generous 10% discount on his purchase.
Lin Han purchased 20 powerful magic scrolls,
and then told Lu that he required some valuable information. Lu assured him he could provide the most reliable intelligence. Following this assurance, Lin Han stated he wanted to know the location of a source of calamity. Lu hesitated upon hearing this request, and when Lin Han pressed him on whether he knew anything, Lu explained that sources of calamity were exceptionally rare, so such information would not come without a hefty price. Lin Han offered a magnificent, epic-level piece of equipment in trade for the requested information. Lu's expression immediately brightened into a broad smile. He then informed Lin Han that he might uncover some information regarding a source of calamity at the exclusive auction taking place very soon. Lin Han figured since the auction was still some time away, he should focus on leveling up in the meantime. Lin Han then pressed Lu, stating he had paid with an epic-grade item. Therefore, he should receive more than just a simple piece of information that would likely be made public later on. Lu understood the hint and, to appease his valued customer, offered Lin Han something more. He had his assistant bring an item, and when she revealed what was concealed beneath the cloth, Lin Han saw a brilliant golden light emanating from it. This meant the item was of an exceptionally rare quality. Lu confirmed his suspicion was correct and said, this item was a legendary teleportation device to a silver dungeon's exclusive leveling hotspot. The user of this powerful device could bring one other person along, and both would level up at an astonishing rate. Lin Han was amazed by this offer, because entry to the silver dungeons could not be bought with mere coin. Lu asked if he was now satisfied with their service, to which Lin Han enthusiastically replied he was more than satisfied, and he accepted the device. After he had departed from the trading guild, Lin Han waved them a final goodbye, and then the manager's assistant asked Lu if he was certain it was a wise decision to give such a rare teleportation device to Lin Han. Lu questioned how it could possibly be a loss for them, since he had already sensed just how powerful Lin Han had become since the last time they had met. Lu had deduced that Lin Han possessed immense potential, and he wanted to invest in their relationship from an early stage. Meanwhile, Lin Han found himself wondering who he should bring along with him into the Silver Dungeon. Just as he was considering one particular person for the task, his friend Wang Qian called him at the perfect moment. Lin Han jokingly asked him how such a busy man found the time to call and bother him. Qian said he had wanted to team up and hunt monsters with Lin Han, but unfortunately, the city had been placed under lockdown, so he had just called to complain to him while eating. Out of sheer frustration, Lin Han told him to forget about that and revealed that he had acquired a massive project, the Silver Dungeon teleportation device. Wang Qian was absolutely stunned to hear Lin Han had gotten his hands on a teleportation device. It made him wonder if his friend, Lin Han, was now being sponsored by some wealthy benefactor. Lin Han told him to stop his nonsense and answer if he would join him or not. Wang Qian agreed without hesitation, immediately asking when and where they should meet. Lin Han instructed him to meet at 9 a.m. the next day, at the entrance to the Silver Dungeon. The following day, Wang Qian arrived at the designated entrance on time, and eagerly awaited Lin Han's arrival. Soon after, Lin Han appeared and praised him for his punctuality, but Wang Qian cheekily pointed out he had come here hoping to meet Lin Han's rich lady sponsor, but unfortunately he didn't see anyone of the sort. Lin Han told him to just say it if he wanted to die by his hand. The two were enjoying a happy reunion, until some detestable individuals pointed them out in the crowd. They were students from Lin Han's former school. They mockingly questioned what the top students were doing here. Those guys immediately began to ridicule a mere healer, like Lin Han, for being at the silver level dungeon. Wang Qian became enraged and wanted to retaliate against them, but Lin Han held him back as they continued their verbal assault. Wang Qian urged Lin Han to release him, as he was eager to challenge these guys to a duel. But Lin Han didn't want him to get mixed up with such worthless trash. The guys warned him not to speak so disrespectfully, as they were now at their second advancements. Then Lin Han pointedly asked why he would ever be afraid of some pawns sent by another. They asked what he meant by that, sweat breaking out on their faces. Lin Han called out, asking why he was still hiding. And just as he expected, the mastermind behind these goons revealed himself. It was none other than Gao Chong. Wang Qian hadn't seen him in quite some time. Gao Chong warned them not to address him so casually. As for weaklings, speaking to him was the same as asking for death. Wang Qian wanted to fight him then and there, but Lin Han stopped him, insisting he would handle this himself. It was then that one of Gao Chong's lackeys attacked him, but Lin Han effortlessly deflected his sword with just his bare hands. He grabbed him by the collar and threw him like a ragdoll, straight into the others. The lackeys were terrified by this display, finding it impossible to believe that Lin Han hadn't used any skills, but rather his pure, unadulterated strength. Next up, Lin Han charged at Gao Chong, who immediately tried to surrender. But Lin Han didn't relent until he had tied him securely to a rock, and forced him to admit he was in the wrong. Wang Qian said it would be best to just leave him there, until he truly understood the gravity of his mistake. Gao Chong's hatred for both Lin Han and Wang Qian intensified after this, because he had now become a public example for others not to mess with Lin Han. Now then, Lin Han activated the teleportation device, taking him and Wang Qian directly to the rapid level up zone within the silver dungeon. And here, there were countless undead skeletons swarming the area. Suddenly, a skeletal hand erupted from the earth and seized Wang Qian's leg. Wang Qian told Lin Han to stay close while he kept them both safe. With his powerful card master skill, Wang Qian began to take care of the undead skeletons, one by one, with the formidable power of his cards. But when he turned to look at Lin Han, he saw that his friend had already dispatched a mountain of those skeletons by himself, using only his fists. Wang Qian complained that he couldn't just solve everything with his fist. It was completely unfair. To which Lin Han replied, it was perfectly fair because he was simply born with this power. He stated if only he weren't afraid of being discovered by the government, he could have cleared this entire area with a single forbidden spell. Wang Qian sighed, knowing Lin Han could probably clear the dungeon with a hammer and his raw physical strength alone. Lin Han assured him there was no need to feel discouraged, and that this would accelerate his leveling. Now, Wang Qian's spirits were lifted, and he cast a volley of thunder magic cards to wipe out the skeletons ahead. He found this surprisingly easy for some reason with Lin Han by his side. Then, suddenly, Lin Han sensed something and grabbed Wang Qian, carrying him without any explanation to a different location. At the place he took them, a menacing monster was causing widespread destruction in the area. Wang Qian saw the monster's colossal axe, and understood immediately that Lin Han was truly a genius, to have spotted a hidden boss. Lin Han warned Wang Qian to be cautious, as this was no ordinary boss. Wang Qian kept his distance. But then, to his utter surprise, Lin Han started running directly towards the monster, and clashed against it with his magical staff, single-handedly blocking the Minotaur's axe. Lin Han urged Wang Qian to quickly assault it with his spells. Wang Qian followed up with a barrage of thunder cards, unleashing the magical attack directly at the Minotaur. Wang Qian yelled for Lin Han to quickly retreat, and cast a long-range magical attack. But Lin Han leaped right in to strike the Minotaur with his staff, which was now imbued with powerful impact magic. Lin Han finished off the Minotaur with a final blow from his staff, a direct hit straight to its head. He stood victorious over the battlefield, and Wang Qian was still not accustomed to seeing a support character, essentially soloing a powerful hidden boss, making Lin Han seem even greater in his eyes. On the outside of the dungeon, an announcement was displayed for all to see. The hidden boss had been vanquished by a party of just two, Lin Han and Wang Qian, in under 16 minutes. Everyone, especially Gao Chong, was shocked by this incredible achievement, and found it utterly impossible that they could have accomplished it for real. Eventually, the day of the university entrance exams arrived, and there were countless people gathered here. Lin Han was then greeted by the ever-shady Gao Chong, who mocked him as the pretend top student finally making an appearance. This time he wanted to witness how Lin Han would cheat like he had before. Wang Qian reminded Gao Chong if he wished to be tied to a rock again. After hearing this, Gao Chong claimed that last time they had caught him by accident, but today he would show them his true power. Wang Qian knew he was likely weaker than Gao Chong, but as for Lin Han, Gao Chong was underestimating him far too much. Once everyone had assembled, a bell rang, announcing the commencement of the entrance exams. Everyone was instructed to showcase their strength on the main stage, without resorting to any form of cheating. With that, the competition began. Wang Qian and Lin Han wished each other well, vowing to make it through all of their respective matches. The very first match of the competition began with Lin Han going up against none other than Gao Chong. When they took their positions on the stage, Gao Chong loudly informed the referee that Lin Han had cheated in his dungeon runs, and he requested that Lin Han be disqualified for cheating. The referee exclaimed that no one would dare to cheat in her presence, so she told him to cease his utter nonsense. Gao Chong then asked her to wait a moment, and questioned Lin Han directly in front of everyone, demanding to know how he had broken the dungeon records. Lin Han didn't seem particularly interested in responding, so Gao Chong proposed a wager. If Lin Han lost here, he would be branded a liar, and would be barred from taking university exams for the next 5 years. The same terms would apply to him. Lin Han disliked how persistently nosy Gao Chong always was, so he accepted this wager to finally teach him a lesson. Gao Chong then claimed his skills had improved dramatically since the last time they had met. He then proceeded to display his talents, and the spectating students were certain that a second-stage assassin would be quite impressive, and very difficult to defeat. Gao Chong was supremely confident that Lin Han couldn't even track his movements, so being hit was not even a possibility as long as he moved at high speed. However, Lin Han could perceive every single one of Gao Chong's movements, without even needing to use any of his skills. Gao Chong thought it was a bluff and charged in to attack Lin Han, but his balance was thrown completely off guard. When Lin Han dodged his attack for real, he thought it was merely a coincidence and attacked repeatedly, while Lin Han continued to evade all of his attacks effortlessly. Meanwhile, the spectators were having a difficult time even keeping up with the movements of the two. Among them, an elderly man who seemed to be an influential figure thought that such powerful physical attributes were being wasted on a support character. Gao Chong grew tired of attacking, and none of his blows had landed. Lin Han stated that what Gao Chong considered high speed was no different than a turtle crawling in his eyes. Wang Qian was becoming very excited as he saw the battle unfolding exactly as he had expected, whereas Gao Chong was becoming increasingly frustrated and demanded that the referee immediately inspect Lin Han, as he was most definitely cheating. The referee had had enough of Gao Chong, and yelled again that no one could cheat under her watchful eyes. So, if he was finished, he should admit defeat instead of running his mouth. Gao Chong refused to surrender here, and leaped at Lin Han to strike again with his most powerful move. This time, Lin Han channeled raw magical energy into his fist to counter. But right at that moment, the referee intervened and stopped him. Gao Chong became enraged and questioned why she had gotten in his way, to which she coldly replied that if she had not taken the initiative to stop this fight, Lin Han would have overpowered him and pierced his heart. By now, Gao Chong felt the crushing pressure in her words, making it abundantly clear that she was serious, so he collapsed to his knees, admitting defeat. She then declared Lin Han the winner of this battle. However, Gao Chong was persistent, and he still lashed out at Lin Han out of sheer frustration, refusing to accept his defeat here. Lin Han put a stop to him by punching Gao Chong and slamming him directly into the ground, shattering the arena floor in the process. Lin Han made it clear he had spared him once before, and he still chose to pick a fight with him. The referee was deeply impressed by Lin Han's immense strength, and asked if he was truly just a support character. Lin Han confirmed it, then poked Gao Chong with his foot, telling him to get up and stop pretending to be unconscious. Gao Chong was then carried away to the medical ward, and as he left, he warned that he would definitely defeat Lin Han in the future. Lin Han was then praised by an overjoyed Wang Qian, who was extremely happy and proud of him, patting his back hard. Lin Han scolded him for hitting him so hard, and Qian apologized. After that, The referee announced the next match would be a chaotic battle royale between 4 individuals, which included Wang Qian as well. Lin Han hadn't expected the matches to be held in this format, and he wished Wang Qian the best, telling him not to mess up out there. Wang Qian confidently assured him to sit back and watch him win, after which he proceeded onto the stage to begin his battle with his powerful card abilities. One of the competitors had not expected to be up against a level 10 card master, and he proposed that the others join forces to eliminate the strongest one first. The others stated their jobs, with one pink-haired girl claiming to be a support healer, and she stated she was fine with being on either side. The black-haired guy listened and then attacked the healer without any warning, in an attempt to eliminate her immediately. After injuring her, he figured she would no longer be able to stand on Wang Qian's side. He then asked the other girl, Jamie, which side she would choose. Jamie sided with him, after which the guy was about to target Wang Qian, but then a card came flying by his side, swinging around the pink-haired girl. The guy dodged it and asked why Wang Qian was protecting that girl, to which he replied that he just found it completely despicable that she was attacked by that guy, only so she would be unable to stand by his side. The guy rushed in with his claws to attack Wang Qian in the same way, but Wang Qian was confident he could handle him. In the meantime, the black-haired girl began casting her hypnotic spell, and it made Wang Qian feel as if he had no energy left. The guy with the claws closed in on him, but just in time, a card protected Wang Qian by deflecting the claws. Wang Qian regained his normal strength and explained that his cards were not just for offensive attacks, but to defend as well. The blonde, old man from the back was liking the way Wang Qian used his cards to counterattack, and the other old man beside him figured that this time around there were surely quite a few promising talents this year. Now Wang Qian used the power of earth, water, fire, wind, and light magic in his cards to finish the fight. While the hypnotist cast another illusion magic spell, Wang Qian missed his targets, leaving him bewildered, and that made the guy with claws more confident about his chances of winning. However, Wang Qian simply closed his eyes and decided to attack them. By sensing their magical power instead, he managed to strike them at the right spots this time, and took out the hypnotist in a single shot. Now only the guy with claws remained, and as the next attack approached from the guy, Wang Qian used his cards defensively once again to block the claws. Meanwhile, the voice of the healer returned, asking if they had already forgotten all about her, as she began casting a healing spell to recover Wang Qian's stamina. Wang Qian was feeling as good as new now, and the guy with the claws was left completely astonished. Wang Qian attacked the guy with 5 cards all at the same time, and it caused a massive explosion on the man, resulting in him being roasted like a chicken. The referee announced Wang Qian as the winner for this round, and Lin Han was happy. His friend had performed great out there by not only winning the match, but also by winning the heart of the approaching lady. The pink-haired girl came to tell Wang Qian that he might feel a moment of pain, and when Wang Qian thought he would be able to manage it just fine, he suddenly began to hallucinate as he collapsed onto the floor. The healer apologized and explained to him that the magic she used only nullifies the damage caused to the body for a short period of time, and later it would return double. She now focused on properly healing him, while Lin Han felt like he would be a third wheel here, so he left the two of them by themselves, even though he could have healed Wang Qian himself. 1 hour later, Lin Han faced his second round against a group of 3 other people. In a battle royale this time, his opponents knew he was strong and did not underestimate him. They had already come with a plan to gang up on him to defeat him, while Lin Han couldn't have asked for more, as he much preferred it to be this way. Right after the match commenced, the magic archer began chanting her magic right away, but Lin Han was not fazed by it in the slightest, knowing that mere arrows would mean nothing against him. The archer was confident, however, and she still unleashed a volley of arrows directly at him. Lin Han figured he could easily evade those arrows with his speed, but suddenly he felt a strange resistance and couldn't move his body. From that spot, he had been bound by the other person with binding magic, the bind constriction, and he gave his all to keep Lin Han in place. As the arrows rained down on him, the 3 opponents were sweating, as they had yet to see if their strategy had succeeded. But to their utter surprise, Lin Han was completely unharmed and smiling as he pulled at the binds. The guy was astounded as he saw Lin Han shatter his binds with sheer brute force. Then Lin Han teased them, stating these binds were not nearly sturdy enough to hold him against his will. However, those arrows were quite nasty. He got a little triggered by them. The magic archer questioned how he was still completely unscathed, and the other two couldn't help but ask just who this guy was. Now it was Lin Han's turn to attack, but right after he charged at them, he stumbled into an invisible barrier. Lin Han found himself caged within this invisible magic barrier, cast by the third guy who wore a face mask. The masked guy quickly ordered the other two to attack Lin Han. The other guy took out his magical serpent's whip, while the magic archer prepared even more arrows. Lin Han punched the invisible barrier lightly, in response to which, the masked guy told him not to waste his time attempting to escape. But suddenly, he was taken aback by the cracks forming up in the barrier. Lin Han simply repeated his punches, while still holding back, and broke out of the barrier with ease. Now he asked where they were, and the other two opponents unleashed their arrows, and the serpent's whip at Lin Han. At the same time, Lin Han was not afraid of either of them, since he caught both of them with his bare hands. The audience was puzzled by the incredible sight, and some girls even started shouting out their numbers for Lin Han to call them. Lin Han praised the teamwork of his opponents. However, even before he could say anything more, they knew they were no match for him, because they had been defeated, without even forcing Lin Han to use his abilities. They called him a freak, and Lin Han alerted them, stating he could hold grudges if he so wished. Those three forfeited at the same time from the match, and ran away not wanting to be caught up. In Lin Han's anger, Lin Han couldn't tell why they were in such a hurry, but anyways he went to check on Wang Qian. He found Wang Qian had been defeated by someone, and he was being healed by the kind healer lady. Wang Qian told him that he didn't even see how he had lost that match. Lin Han assured him it was fine, since even if he lost the match, he had won the war because the healer lady Yun Yun had come to his aid. Wang Qian got flustered upon hearing that, and he mentioned the person who had defeated him was named Yuan Shi, and apparently she was somehow different from the other candidates. Lin Han assured him there was nothing to worry about, as he was here to avenge his dear friend. Later, in the third match, Lin Han won with an overwhelming difference in sheer strength, and the same was the result for the fourth match as well, advancing him directly to the finals. In the finals, he at last faced Yuan Shi, the one who had defeated Wang Qian before. She seemed to be here only for her own amusement, and remarked that there didn't seem to be any worthy contenders in this city, especially after a mere support character managed to advance to the finals. Lin Han figured she wasn't from this city, so he asked her where she was from. But in response, she told him to mind his own business, and show her if he was truly capable of being in the finals. Yuan Shi transformed into a chaotic form as she chanted assassin magic skills, which covered the entire arena in a thick fog. Lin Han figured it wouldn't be much of a problem for him, and suddenly, a hand wielding a blade attacked the exact spot where Lin Han was standing. Lin Han barely dodged that sudden surprise attack, and now he had to evade more attacks coming from within this mist. However, he already had a plan in mind, and smiled before punching a pinpoint location in the mist, and it landed directly on the assassin, Yuan Shi. She questioned him. How did he know her precise location? To which Lin Han replied it wasn't that difficult to figure out, because she would have to materialize before launching her attacks. Yuan Shi acknowledged Lin Han's impressive combat skills, but she was still confident that he was no match for her. Lin Han smiled and teased, "We'll see if she says the same thing." After another punch from him, the assassin challenged him to try and defeat her ultimate trick, where she became two, and he would have to fight both of them at once. She constantly attacked him from both sides, and when Lin Han tried to perceive it, he felt both of these bodies sharing the same identical aura. She laughed as it seemed like her strategy was working when she landed a hit on Lin Han, but he was confident it wouldn't be enough to defeat him. He caught both of the assassins with his hands at the same time, and the speed at which he did it left her completely shocked. Lin Han stated the chasm in power between them was simply too vast, after which the assassin was about to surrender, but Lin Han didn't let her finish her sentence, and smacked both of them onto the hard ground. He warned Yuan Shi to watch her mouth before opening it next time. As he walked to the center of the stage, the referee announced Lin Han's victory for this match as well, which makes him the champion of this entire competition. The host of this competition congratulated Lin Han on becoming the top scholar of their city, and presented him with his reward, in which Lin Han had actually won a luxurious villa for himself. The host informed him that along with the villa, he would also receive skill books and a bonus as well, and assured that the government will surely support students like Lin Han, who always strive to become even stronger. The other students who had participated in the competition gaped at Lin Han's incredible prize. And with this, the host concluded this entire competition and invited the mentors from all the universities to come and scout the students, or the students could choose to apply for the universities they liked. The mentors came out, with the first being Yancy from King University, Wang Licheng from Liam University, and Li Cheng from Shuming University, along with other mentors from the rest of the universities as well. After some time, Wang Qian told Lin Han that he had been scouted by the Jian University. Lin Han admitted it was impressive that his friend secured a spot in a fine university, but tragically, Lin Han himself had received absolutely no invitations from anyone. Wang Qian was completely staggered by this news. It was unheard of for the reigning champion to receive no offers at all, especially when Lin Han had dominated this year's entire examination. Lin Han revealed that the mentors and recruiters believed he was someone who had forsaken his magical training, focusing solely on honing his raw physical abilities, so they chose to observe him, waiting for the following year's exams. Wang Qian had to admit the logic in their decision, since Lin Han hadn't unleashed a single spell throughout the tournament. Hearing this, Lin Han playfully punched his friend out of sheer frustration, and boldly declared he would attend no university for the time being. He had already claimed his grand rewards and was now his own master. In another part of the city, Minister Sun Hyo of the Lunar Magic Detection Division welcomed the great Master Linton. Linton remarked that he sensed the lingering remnants of forbidden spells in the region, but he couldn't possibly fathom the how or the why. After all, every known saint-level expert capable of casting such high-level magic was currently absent from the city, and he highly doubted any foreign supreme masters would be involved. So, they had absolutely no way of discovering where this mysterious entity originated. Around that same time, Lin Han had just finished relocating his family into their luxurious new villa, and while they were enjoying dinner, he saw the breaking news about the master of the lunar magic detection, Linton, arriving in their very city. Lin Han nearly choked in the middle of his meal upon hearing this news. His mother gently chided him to eat more slowly. At that exact moment, he received a call from Manager Lu, and Lu mentioned he had acquired information on the source of the catastrophe that Lin Han had been searching for. Lin Han was electrified by this news and demanded to know where it was, to which Lu revealed that the next catastrophe would be a massive earthquake, and it was predicted to occur in Yamen City. Lin Han demanded the precise address without a moment's delay. Lu then asked if he should prepare some powerful equipment for him. Lin Han replied that it would not be necessary. Instead, he would be bringing even more incredible items to sell to Lu. Lu absolutely loved the sound of that. He admired Lin Han for consistently being the top-notch customer he trusted. Lin Han was ecstatic about this news. He could hardly wait to venture forth to the fated Yamen City as soon as he possibly could. Manager Lu, on the other hand, was calmly enjoying a fine drink, while contemplating that he simply could not get a clear read on Lin Han, no matter how hard he tried to understand the young man's true nature. It was then that Lu received a call from a man named Tian, who asked if he was experiencing some issues with the training ground. Tian was absolutely furious, as he demanded to know the reason why Lu had given the teleportation device array to a mere upstart like Lin Han. Manager Lu coolly replied that it was hardly a bad thing for him to make a small investment wherever he perceived a golden opportunity. Tian vehemently disagreed with this investment, as he was convinced that even if Lin Han had some minor potential, he was nowhere near the immense value of that teleportation array. Lu spoke from a place of deep experience, and vaguely conveyed to his associate, Tian, that the true potential of Lin Han was something far beyond what he or Tian could ever possibly imagine, and that he would say no more on the matter except to demand that Tian cease his investigation into Lin Han. Chun decided to trust Lu's powerful intuition this time and ended the call. Chun couldn't help but wonder, just where did this Lin Han come from? The next day, within the dungeons of the fabled Yamian city, Lin Han followed his map and arrived at the legendary Diamond Forest, a place that shimmered just like diamonds under the bright sunlight. Suddenly, he heard a desperate voice shouting for help, and as he followed the sound of the voice, Lin Han saw a young girl fleeing for her life from a monstrous beast. She pleaded not to be devoured by this incredibly strong monster, and desperately requested aid from Lin Han to defeat this gold-level boss.
Lin Han
thought that discovering a silver-level boss on the mere outskirts of the diamond forest was a sign of absurdly terrible luck. The girl urged him to help her instead of just standing there frozen. Then, she assumed that he must have been too terrified to even move. She began to taunt the monstrous beast, drawing its full attention solely onto herself. This led Lin Han to realize she was thinking of others even while in mortal danger. Although he rather liked this quality of hers, and as the monster was about to strike her with its sharp tongue, she squeezed her eyes shut, seeing no possible way out of this situation. But then she opened her eyes to see that she was perfectly safe. Lin Han had blocked the monster's sharp attack with only his hands. She yelled at him to watch out, while Lin Han just began to slam that monster around on the ground, and then hurled it far into the depths of the forest. The girl was completely mesmerized by this incredible rescue. She immediately asked him if she could join his party. After witnessing him defeat a gold-level boss so very easily, Lin Han had no desire to take her along with him, because he was here to enter the heart of a catastrophe. So he simply pointed out that he didn't even know her name. She eagerly introduced herself as Wang Ting, a powerful transformation mage. Her passionate gaze made it very difficult for Lin Han to turn her away, especially after she had just risked her own life for his sake. He remarked that her ability was certainly both rare and impressive, but she didn't believe it was anything that special. She then asked him for his name, but Lin Han was hesitant to tell her his real name because it might bring him even more trouble. So he told her his name was Wang Qian, from Yaoguang City. Wang Ting told him he was incredibly powerful for someone of such a young age, making her ask how he had trained to become so strong. She also wanted to hang out with him when she visited his city, and Lin Han was already becoming bored by her very talkative nature. He wondered what he should say in this situation, and pointed out that his age was actually much older than she imagined. Yanting seemed to be only getting more interested in him. He then changed the subject and asked why she had come here. She replied that she had come here to try her luck and get some major equipment, since good equipment was very expensive out in the market. And now that she had found an expert like him, she hoped she could now stride forward with confidence. Now Lin Han found her to be quite refreshingly straightforward, and he decided to look after her at least for a little while. However, suddenly he sensed something and told Wang Ting that her luck seemed to be exceptionally bad. He said so because ever since he had met her, only more and more troubles were happening, one after another. This time, another gold-level boss monster, a bloodthirsty gorilla, had shown up, and Lin Han pointed out to her that a powerful monster like that was not at all easy to find here on the outskirts of the forest. He asked her to stay behind while he took care of it, and thus, Lin Han entered into another clash, this time against the bloodthirsty gorilla. He matched the power of the gorilla's fists with his own head-on punches, and to his great surprise, Wang Ting was frightened as she alerted him that more monsters were approaching. Lin Han spotted yet another powerful monster boss, and this time it was a formidable pack of crimson-eyed wolves, which would not be so easy to deal with using just his physical strength. On top of all that, Wang Ting clung to him, crying that she didn't want to die here. Lin Han told her to stop talking of death, as it would take a great deal more than these monsters to ever kill him. Lin Han's demeanor became serious. He crushed the gorilla's hand with just his bare fingers, then lifted it and hurled the entire gorilla into the sky. He then punched it from the sky, and sent it crashing straight into the place where the crimson-eyed wolves were preparing their ambush. Lin Han kept all of the monsters at bay with his immense strength, and then landed safely. He asked Wang Ting how that instant kill of all those monsters was just now, to which she replied that she had become his biggest fan after that display. Now, Lin Han felt that this diamond forest was somewhat abnormal, because ever since he had arrived here, so many powerful monsters had been ambushing him, even on the outskirts. He wondered if the impending catastrophe was causing all of the monsters to flee outward, which meant he might be able to accelerate the catastrophe with one of his forbidden spells. However, he needed to send Wang Ting away somehow first. Wang Ting, on the other hand, remarked that she wasn't afraid of any boss, as long as she was with the great Wang Qian, since he could handle everything. Lin Han then dropped the bomb on her with the news that she was on her own. From this point forward, Wang Ting was caught completely off guard by that. Then Lin Han explained that he sensed a powerful creature deep inside the diamond forest, with a strength that was not at all inferior to his own. So, he suspected the real battle was just beginning. Wang Ting asked what she should do in that case, to which he simply told her to leave and she would be fine. Wang Ting was afraid of the monsters on the way back, but Lin Han guaranteed he would make sure that wouldn't happen. He then held her by the shoulders and threw her completely out of the forest with his magic. Wang Ting went flying and fell onto the ground with a powerful impact, but surprisingly, she didn't feel any damage because Lin Han had used a protective spell on her. She wondered what kind of spell it was. While Lin Han was now completely free to cast his forbidden spell, he went to the center of the diamond forest where the main lake was located, and there he cast the forbidden spell, Chaos Domain. And just like that, the entire forest was instantly under the rain of falling meteors, visible even to Wang Ting, who was now very far from the forest. She was terrified and knew that was in no way a common spell. While the meteors kept raining down throughout the entire diamond forest and wreaking havoc, the ground soon split and cracks formed. Even in the lake at the center of the forest, Lin Han doubted if he had gone too far. But anyways, to him, it was more important to locate the source of this catastrophe. Meanwhile, at the magic detection department, everyone was in complete chaos after sensing another use of a forbidden spell. In the vicinity of their city, the supervisor immediately called for Sir Linton, and at that same time, Linton arrived at the monitoring room to check on the dire situation. The supervisor informed him that based on their information, the source was located within the diamond forest. Linton did not expect to encounter such an extraordinary situation so soon, and the supervisor asked what steps they should now take. Linton commanded that they must locate the position of this person using forbidden spells, and asked them to bring the tracking system along with them as well. They immediately took action on his orders. And while everyone was attending to their duties, Linton was kind of getting a feeling that he might have taken on a heavy burden by taking responsibility for this task. Meanwhile, in the now broken down lake of the Diamond Forest, which was now completely dried up, Lin Han finally managed to find the source of the great catastrophe. But suddenly, he sensed so many strong auras surrounding the entire area. He used his skills to learn that the magic detection division was already upon him, and they were immediately activating all their barriers to find him, no matter what it took.
Lin Han understood
that his teleportation device would not work once the barriers were up. So he quickly activated the teleportation device, hoping it would work as soon as possible. At that very same time, the detection division was using all of their trackers to scan the forest for any signs of humans, and they soon spotted one person's presence in the northwest. But before they could take any further action, they saw a large teleportation light coming from that very direction, which left the supervisor and Linton with expressions of pure disgust, because they knew this meant they had lost that person once again. Linton was shocked to see a portable teleportation device being used, because no average person could ever possess such an item. After this incident, the next morning, Lin Han was casually brushing his teeth at home when he received a call from manager Lu. Lin Han picked up the phone, and Lu asked him what had happened yesterday. With a bit of a shock, Lin Han asked what the big deal was, and Lu told him that an earthquake had occurred in the Yen city yesterday, and rumors had spread about the appearance of a mysterious master. Lu was so worried about Lin Han that he had been calling to check up on him constantly. Lin Han smiled and said even if there had been an earthquake there, he hadn't actually visited that place yet. So he asked what had happened to the source of the disaster. Lu was glad he was okay, and told Lin Han that he would contact him as quickly as possible. After he had the information on the source of the natural disaster, Lin Han realized this fox-like manager Lu had wanted to trick him, but that was no problem now, after he had evaded the questions so smartly. And now that he possessed the source of the natural disaster, Lin Han figured it was about time for him to change his job yet again. Meanwhile, Manager Lu had done his own investigation and found much information, like the appearance of a mysterious warrior, having heard of Wang Yang being there, and lastly the use of a portable teleportation device, all of which only confirmed to him that it was definitely Lin Han. Later, in the job change hall, the receptionist welcomed Lin Han with a bright smile, and he straight up told her that he was here to advance to his third job. She mentioned it had only been half a month since he had advanced to his second job, which meant he had managed to find information about the sources of natural disasters. Within this incredibly short period of time, Lin Han confirmed this and stated that it was nothing for him. Everyone who heard him thought that Lin Han was truly a monster for leveling up and collecting resources so very quickly. They knew that Lin Han might be the first priest to ever advance to the third advancement, which meant going above level 20. The receptionist called him awesome and asked him to put his hand on the machine to be assigned his next job. Lin Han placed his hand on the machine, and this time he received yet another S-rank quest to go to the Iron Forest and obtain the Heart of the Guardian. Lin Han thought that this system was definitely giving him these tough jobs on purpose, as if it didn't even want him to live. But anyways, he now would have to visit this Iron Forest, a place that he had not even heard of before. Putting this thought aside, Lin Han accepted the job, and the receptionist informed him that the deadline for this job was the day after tomorrow. She wished him a safe journey, and from there, Lin Han visited the trading guild. Next, he sat down with Lu and said he had come here with some business, because he needed some stuff for his third quest. Lu congratulated Lin Han for becoming the world's first triple-turn priest, and then came to his mind that a priest would require 3 sources of natural disasters for their third transformation. And right when there was an earthquake just the previous day, Lin Han today received a third advancement quest, which was definitely not a coincidence. Lin Han knew that Manager Lu had connected all the dots, so in that case he decided to pretend to be mysterious. Lin Han then lied that his master had risked his life to bring him the source of the disaster, and he felt nothing but grateful to his master for helping someone like him. Lu's perspective of him changed completely, and he wondered just how strong this mysterious master was, to be able to produce natural disasters at will. He prioritized making a good relationship with this apprentice, Lin Han, and his powerful master. So he mentioned to Lin Han that he had a special treasure, and wanted to see if Lin Han could make use of it. Lu went and brought a piece of cloth, which was a disguised veil, a gold-level item that changes the face of the user at will, but it had side effects if it was worn for too long. Lin Han was interested in it right away and asked how much it would cost. Lu figured that since Lin Han was their old customer, he would sell it to him for 4 million. Lin Han bid 2 million for it, and they started to negotiate the price, leading Lu to make a final offer of 3 million. They closed the deal for 3 million. And Lu accepted this deal because in exchange for these 3 million, he had gained the kindness of a master with unlimited potential. Lin Han was happy to receive this item, and later on, he used his system to augment the veil by 10,000 times. The veil immediately transformed into a legendary grade mask, which allowed the user to completely transform into any person he could imagine. And he could also use the abilities that that person has to disguise himself perfectly. Lin Han was feeling great because with this, he would be able to pretend to be his master, and that way it would not be easy for the higher-ups to find out his true identity. Lin Han decided to test this new power right away, and he tried it by copying Gao Chong, and thought of pretending to be him when he headed out to the Iron Forest. That way, no one would ever know it was Lin Han, and it would work out perfectly. The next day, Lin Han stalked Gao Chong to see where he was headed off to, planning something that would make sure his plans would go smoothly. After that, Lin Han followed Gao Chong disguised as one of his friends, Yang, and he acted all chummy to get Gao Chong to have some drinks together, since it had been a long time since they had last met. He offered the drinks on his own tab, and acted all close as he got Gao Chong to a nearby bar. After some time, Lin Han had finished his plan and removed his mask, after he had made Gao Chong sleep very deeply, by mixing in a powerful sleeping pill into his drinks. Now Lin Han changed back into Liang again, and took Gao Chong to a nearby hotel, and he told the attendant to let his friend sleep in one of the VIP rooms, and to make sure he sleeps as long as he wishes to, without being disturbed. Once Lin Han had taken care of Gao Chong, he headed to a back alley and transformed again into Gao Chong. He was confident now that nobody would ever find him out, so he didn't waste any time and headed right off to the Iron Forest. Upon arriving there, a strong-looking dude approached him, and asked if he would like to party up together. Lin Han, disguised as Gao Chong, asked the uncle for his name, and the man replied sadly that he was only 27, and he was deeply hurt upon being looked at as old. Lin Han felt guilty and greeted the man as Gao Chong, an assassin, and asked him what his job was. The man became interested again and introduced himself as Wak Han, a level 30 guardian knight, and he also had 2 other party members who would be joining them later. Soon, the other 2 party members arrived, and one of them turned out to be the referee from the entrance exam competition. Lin Han still remembered her from back then, and the referee recognized Gao Chong and introduced herself as Go Gong. Soon, other party members also arrived, and among them there was also Wang Ting, the unlucky girl Lin Han had met in the Diamond Forest. Lin Han looked over at the party members as they introduced themselves in a very flashy way, except for Wang Ting, who looked somewhat a little professional. Lin Han had a hunch that he might be in some real trouble this time. Wak Han then announced that they would get started with exploring the Iron Forest, and they teleported inside the dungeon. Upon arriving inside the dungeon, the Iron Forest, Wak Han was so excited in exploring that he basically announced their arrival with a very loud voice. Go Gong told him to keep his voice down, and noticed how this place was awfully quiet right now. Wak Han told her that it would be fine, as long as they didn't run into a boss monster. She tried to keep him on his guard, but he was overconfident, and soon they ran into a steel tiger, seeing which Wak Han thought it wouldn't be too difficult. However, Go Gong was sharp and alerted them that they were in trouble because there was more than just one steel tiger here. The steel tigers ambushed them all at once, and Wak Han prepared his sword to face them head-on. He used his shield to block the left side, and asked Go Gong to handle the right. Go Gong told the rest of them to take care of themselves because she couldn't afford to hold back while also protecting them. She sprinted through the steel tigers and killed them one by one, while Wang Ting looked at the cool moves of Go Gong. Lin Han, disguised as Gao Chong, figured these steel tigers wouldn't be able to break through as long as they had 2 level 30 masters with them. But the difficulty suddenly went up when the Steel Tiger King appeared. Wak Han got serious now, because this monster was a gold level boss monster, and shouldn't be in these parts of the forest. Lin Han glanced over at Wang Ting and thought, why does he always run into gold level boss monsters? Whenever this girl was around, Wak Han engaged into a fight with that Steel Tiger King, and no wonder, it was a very powerful beast that he wouldn't be able to hold off for very long. He suggested that everyone should split up and run, or they would all die here. Everyone followed his command and split up around the forest to make their retreat. Lin Han headed to a quiet place and decided to try transforming into the mysterious master from his imagination. He transformed into an old, sage kind of looking man, and figured it was time for this old geezer to shine and save some kids. Meanwhile, Wak Han and Go Gong were sweating after fighting off strong monsters, one after another while trying to run away. Suddenly, she sensed something and told Wak Han to watch out, after which he immediately stepped away from the tree he had been resting on. A fierce attack came from that very direction, and it happened to be from another monster boss, a shadow wolf boss. Wak Han didn't expect to meet such a rare monster, and he decided to challenge himself, trying to defeat it by himself. As he threw away his shield at it, the shadow wolf boss dodged it, and just then, Go Gong sneaked up behind it because she wanted to kill this monster for herself. She landed the finishing blow, and the shadow wolf boss fell down. After losing its life, she stood on top of it while Wak Han complained that she had taken his target. She told him he was just too slow, and if she hadn't attacked, it would have run away. They had a little argument over this prey while in the meantime, Lin Han was watching from a tree and thought it would be really nice to have that shadow wolf's fur for himself. He jumped down as an old man and questioned the two of them if they would mind him taking the skin and fur of the shadow wolf. Wak Han and Go Gong were both caught off guard, as they hadn't even noticed Lin Han coming so close to them at all. Wak Han was the first one to refute, saying they were the ones who had risked their lives fighting this beast. Lin Han simply decided to take it by force, and those two weren't the type to stand idly by, so they attacked him. However, Lin Han was far too strong for them, and he dunked both of their faces into the ground. Then he claimed now it surely shouldn't be a problem if he takes. Wak Han and Go Gong quickly had a change of mind, and they let Lin Han take the beast. Lin Han figured it was better to use his fists like this to sort out things much faster, and after that, He went to the deeper parts of the forest and sensed some monkey monsters charging at him with sneak attacks through the trees and bushes. Lin Han managed to deal with all of them with his sheer magical defense. He was confident they couldn't even touch him, while he could defeat them with ease. Soon, he confronted the forest overlord, the three-eyed demonic ape, the boss monster of all those monkeys. Lin Han changed his tactics and decided to use some magic in his fists. This time, the ape jumped with its quick reflexes and dodged Lin Han's punch, after which, he got sobered up and decided to launch an array of punches. But to his surprise, the ape showed its hand to stop him and beg for mercy. Lin Han wondered what it was doing. The ape then broke off a tree and used it as a weapon to attack Lin Han, trying to catch him off his guard. The ape twisted around the tree like a log, and it was Lin Han's first time seeing an ape use a weapon. He was open to this fight as the ape charged at him, and Lin Han met the impending tree with a direct punch. Fueled with immense magical power, the ape did its best, but Lin Han simply overpowered him, and the punch broke through the tree and hit the ape. Lin Han knew a gold-level ape wouldn't take more than a single direct punch. After all, it was then that he heard the voices of Wang Ting and the others, planning to regroup with the others. And she happened to face the ape that had died at Lin Han's hands. They were shocked, thinking how that was even possible. And Lin Han simply hid himself behind a nearby tree, because he knew that nothing good would ever happen if one meets that girl. Wang Ting and the other two subordinates observed the body of the ape, and saw the fist marks, which reminded Wang Ting of the master, Wang Qian, she had met in the Diamond Forest, which was basically Lin Han himself. It was then that Wang Qian and Go Gong regrouped with them, and asked if they had seen Gao Chong. Wang Ting replied no, and wondered if he had been eaten by some monster. Lin Han felt not so grateful for that consideration, and anyway, he decided to head deeper into the forest to finish his mission. After traveling a bit further, he finally got rid of those guys. But now, the challenge was to find the heart of the guardian of the forest. Lin Han looked around and finally confronted the forest guardian, the platinum-level boss. And this fight might be a little trickier than the others. The forest guardian attacked him with its tentacles, and Lin Han jumped around, dodging them one by one. He knew the only way to get close to this monster was to get through these tentacles, so he purposely let it hold his limbs to let its guard down. But actually, Lin Han tightened up his muscles once he got close and freed himself. The forest guardian sensed the danger and increased the number of tentacles attacking Lin Han. And surprisingly, a large part of the forest started running wild around him.
Lin Han realised.
This platinum-level boss was capable of controlling other monsters, which was pretty much expected of the boss of the Iron Forest. He was enjoying this fight, but around this forest the Master Linton happened to be nearby, and he sensed something great inside the forest. He asked the others to quickly follow him as he entered the forest. Lin Han here sensed that Linton was approaching this very place, and if he got caught, he would be in a lot of trouble. So he didn't have much time here. Lin Han decided to skip the fun and end this in an instant, so he didn't waste any more time and casted a forbidden spell, Chaos Domain. A giant magic circle appeared in the sky and rained down ice spears on the entire area. Wak Han and Go Gong sensed the immensely powerful forbidden spell nearby, and Wang Ting recalled that it was the same as before. Lin Han was keeping an eye out for everyone, and before he could protect them, they were shielded by the magic barrier casted by Linton. He was glad to have made it in time, and asked them if they had seen any mysterious master around here. The two extras replied that they just saw the whole forest go into chaos, and a battle suddenly started on a level of two great masters. Wang Ting, on the other hand, told the Grandmaster Linton that their friend, Gao Chong, was missing. Linton quickly sprinted from there to look further into the forest. Himself and the others were amazed by his incredible speed. Meanwhile, Lin Han was finished with his mission, as he had defeated all of the monsters, and had even collected the heart of the forest guardian. He knew that Grandmaster Linton was coming very soon, so he quickly had to figure out a way to get out of here. It was then that he got an idea, and Lin Han called the trading company, and asked if they would like to buy a treasure of the forest guardian's heart. Lu accepted the deal and said he would come to pick it up himself. He warned that Lin Han was pretending to be a stranger, so he informed Lu that he would place the heart of the guardian forest outside the city, and in exchange he demanded Lu deposit the payment there. Lu agreed to these terms, vowing to deliver the funds at the appointed time. Lin Han devised a plan to purchase the forest guardian's heart back from Lu. At a later date, a clever ruse to avoid arousing any suspicion. And as for the approaching Master Linton, he had a cunning gambit prepared. When Linton finally reached the scene, he saw countless monsters flash frozen all around the area, and after following this horrific trail of utter destruction, he eventually discovered a colossal crater, the devastating aftermath of a massive, large-scale magic attack. Then, Linton discovered Gao Chong, encased in a prison of ice, and swiftly shattered the crystal bonds with his own magic. Lin Han, still disguised as Gao Chong, pretended to be shivering uncontrollably. After a moment, Linton asked him if he was indeed Gao Chong. He feigned surprise, asking how the master knew his name. Linton explained that his concerned teammates were worried about him, and proceeded to ask if he had witnessed anyone else here. Lin Han, acting weak from the intense cold, claimed the very moment he had arrived in this area, he was struck by a blinding white light and recalled nothing afterwards. Linton simply instructed him to go back and rejoin his teammates, but deep inside he was wondering, how could this mere child possibly survive a direct hit from a forbidden spell? A short time later, they returned to the others, and Wak Han was overjoyed to see Gao Chong return. Lin Han feigned relief, claiming he was safe thanks to them, and that he hoped they could team up again sometime. They then exited the forest and went their separate ways. As they left, Wang Ting asked the two extras to come along. They replied that they would be right there in a moment, but in truth, those two men were secret agents of the monitoring division. Linton, his suspicions fully aroused, had ordered them to tail Gao Chong. After that, those agents began to stalk Lin Han, still disguised as Gao Chong. But Lin Han had intentionally allowed them to follow him. When he was finished with his ruse, he used his rapid movement techniques to lose them completely. The agent was utterly startled, as he had just lost the very child he was assigned to follow. No matter what, the very next morning, Lin Han awoke in his room as he usually did. He then unleashed his Eye of God ability, scanning his domain to check for any observers around the area. One after another, and just as he had anticipated, there were elite agents from the detection division, who now seemed to be suspecting everyone connected to Gao Chong and Wang Qian. But Lin Han was supremely confident he wouldn't reveal anything. He brushed his teeth normally and then got a call from Manager Lu. Lin Han answered the call, and Lu informed him that they had received the Forest Guardian's heart yesterday, which was the exact item he needed to advance his job. He asked him when he could come over to have a look at it. Lin Han replied that he would be there in a flash, and headed straight out of his house. In a very happy mood, the agent from the monitoring division asked his boss if there was really something suspicious to suspect about Lin Han, to which his superior replied that this Lin Han was apparently the champion of the recent exam, and yet was not enrolled in any university. So it was indeed strange, and he wanted his men to follow him. Later on, Lin Han met with Lu for the coveted Forest Guardian's heart, and Manager Lu welcomed him with a very warm smile. The stalkers watched as Lin Han entered the trading guild, and unfortunately for them, they did not possess the authority to search the powerful trading guild. They wondered how an ordinary student like Lin Han was so well acquainted with the great Manager Lu. Meanwhile, Lin Han confirmed the authenticity of the Forest Guardian's heart, and thanked Manager Lu for all of his hard work. Lin Han then mentioned that his master had given him some rare items to be appraised by Lu. He then brought out a blood slaughter sword and a battle armor, both of legendary grade. Lu's eyes began to sparkle as he wondered just who in the world was Lin Han's mysterious master to possess such incredibly rare legendary grade items.
Lin Han calmly stated
that these two legendary pieces of equipment were nothing to his master, but that he was the kind of person who avoided too much attention. Lu understood the hint and promised he would never disclose the identity of the seller of these items. Lin Han thanked him for his cooperation, then mentioned there seemed to be some annoying pests outside. Lu understood exactly what he meant, and outside the VIP room, the stalkers from the monitoring division were attempting to enter, but were stopped by the powerful guards. The supervisor questioned the guards, how could an ordinary person like Lin Han be considered a distinguished VIP guest? This situation demanded a thorough search. It was then that manager Lu himself came out and said that he was the one who decided who was a VIP and who was not, so he demanded that the troublemakers get out of there immediately. Lin Han waved goodbye to those two and bid farewell to manager Lu as well, mentioning that he would go back home. Now, however, one of the stalkers noticed that Lin Han was heading in the direction of the job transfer hall. He found this very odd, because Lin Han had just gotten a job change recently. Later, at the job change hall, the receptionist welcomed Lin Han and asked how he could have visited again so very soon. Lin Han told her that he had gotten lucky, and had gotten the job transfer item from a trade. The receptionist booked his transfer slot right away, and Lin Han soon entered the transfer chamber, and was upgraded to his third advancement. This time, the process actually hurt Lin Han for some reason, since this process involved absorbing the source of a natural disaster. Once the process had ended, Lin Han realized that perhaps the few priests who had managed to acquire the items must not have been able to withstand the source of the natural disasters. Now, he wanted to see just how strong he had become after this job change. Right away, Lin Han opened his stats and saw that his profession had been upgraded to Holy Priest from just a simple priest, and all of his stats were now in the tens of millions, crossing the humanly possible boundaries by extreme measures. He had also gained 2 more forbidden spells, Thunder God Domain and Wind God Domain. Lin Han realized that these new spells were basically the power he had gained from the source of the natural disasters he had obtained, and now he could control those elements. Meanwhile, the announcement screen in the center of the hall started acting weirdly, and everyone thought that it had broken. Then the screen announced Lin Han becoming a holy priest after his third advancement, and everyone was completely shocked, because there had never been a case of a priest making it this far before. One of them wondered if this third advancement priest would be powerful. Then a guy slapped him from the back, and questioned just what he had learned at school, because priests were required to obtain the source of a natural disaster to upgrade. But there has never been a priest who has made it to the third advancement, which means that Lin Han was truly one of a kind. Some of the people recognized that Lin Han was the same student who had topped the exam this year, and apparently it was widely known that he was so good at everything, making the ladies a fan of his and wanting to marry a guy like him. Then Lin Han exited the upgrade chamber, and asked everyone what they were all looking at. Everyone started running towards Lin Han to get his autograph, and Lin Han did not know he would be in a situation like this. The news of Lin Han's third advancement became well known throughout the entire country, and people started gathering outside of his house. Lin Han did not know how to handle all of this attention, and wanted to leave the house, covered in a hood. His mother asked if he was planning to rob a bank, to which Lin Han replied, why would he ever need to rob a bank in the first place? He asked his parents not to tell anyone about him being here, after which he just left through the window. But when he got down, Lin Han saw a girl with a ladder near the wall. It immediately spread throughout the people. When Lin Han jumped out of the window, and they started chasing him like crazy, Lin Han's parents felt teary-eyed, as they saw their child being treated like a true celebrity. On the other hand, Lin Han did not expect it would be this tiring to handle his new fans. In either case, he wanted to make his way to the prestigious auction house. Lin Han soon arrived at the Huayu auction house, and at the gate he saw Gao Chong with all of his friends. He asked them what they were all doing out here, but Gao Chong just told him not to get so full of himself, just because he was a little bit famous now, and he could come to such a high-end auction house. He mocked a country bumpkin like him who doesn't belong here. But just then, one of the workers greeted Lin Han as Sir, and asked him to come inside without having to wait like all of the others. Gao Chong was taken aback, as he saw Lin Han casually entering the auction house early, and receiving treatment like a true VIP. Gao Chong's friends asked him if Lin Han wasn't from an average family, after all. But Gao Chong didn't care about that and walked off after punching him. Gao Chong doubted if Lin Han had some kind of a secret identity. While Lin Han was taken to his VIP seat by none other than manager Lu, Lin Han asked Lu to get him a dark cloak, as he didn't want to be recognized by any of the other people here. Lu complied with his request, and said that he had deposited 100 million in his card as a down payment for those 2 legendary items from before. Now, the girl host of the auction started the event, and brought out the very first item, steel wrist guards, a gold level item. She explained the bid would start at 1 million and would be added by 100,000 with every single bid. She began the auction and people started bidding one after another. Lin Han was surprised to see that the steel wrist guard was this popular, and the item sold for 2.3 million. At the end of the bidding, Lu knew these items might be nothing to Lin Han's interest, but he let him know that there were 5 other VIPs here who might be after the same items that Lin Han might want. Lin Han asked if those other 5 were some important people, to which Lu responded that they were from the 5 prestigious families: the Ma family, the Li family, the Chun family, the Wang family, and the Gongsun family. All of these families had influence over the entire world, and they were rich enough to rival a whole country. But he assured Lin Han that these families followed their rules in this auction, so he didn't have to worry. Lin Han claimed if anything here picks his eye, he will surely not let it go. Later on, the host announced the main item of this auction, which was the pass to the ruin number 3. Which was the most advanced remains of its kind in this entire world. And apparently, these ruins only opened once every 30 years, and each time they do, one requires a specific pass to enter. She mentioned that there were only 100 passes of these ruins left in the world, and only those with diamond level and above, and under 30 years of age could enter. She started the bid at 10 million, and it didn't take long for the bidding for this pass to cross 50 million. Lin Han could see that this pass was worth every single penny, and when Lu asked if he was interested, Lin Han replied with bidding on this, starting right off with 80 million. One of the 5 families, my family's 4th son, met Han Xing and told his sister to join in this bidding, and they bid 100 million for it. He wanted his family's face to rise with this rare artifact and to enter this extremely rare ruin. Manager Lu informed Lin Han that the 2 brothers and sisters were Tai Anxing and Shanxing from the Ma family. Lu suggested to Lin Han that if he wanted to make friends with the Ma family, it wasn't a bad idea to give this one bid up. Lin Han was clear. Lin Han was ready to even sell all of his silver and gold equipment to win this auction since his opponents were the rich, big families. Lin Han raised the bid to 150 million, and Tai Anxing asked if Lin Han was sure about breaking any chances of a friendship with them. He raised it to 180 million, and in response, Lin Han made it clear that he doesn't have any need for the 5 families, as he raised the bid to 200 million. Ma Sui Anxing warned Lin Han that he would remember his face now, and the 200 million bid was too much to be overbid by everyone, so the item was sold to Lin Han. Manager Lu pointed out that Lin Han wasn't even keeping a low profile here, and if he didn't back down from this, the entire country would know about it by tomorrow. Lin Han was stern about the highest bidder winning an auction. Naturally, even though he wanted to keep his identity hidden, Lu knew the Ma family would not be so generous, but he assured Lin Han that he would do his best to keep Lin Han's identity a complete secret, and even if someone comes to investigate later, they would only hear that Lin Han was a mystery member. However, Lu requested that Lin Han would be really good if he could bring at least 2 pieces of legendary grade. Like last time, Lin Han said he was not some wholesaler, and that 5 pieces were too many, in response to which Lu asked for 2 pieces at the very least. Lin Han joined hands to close the deal, as if it was nothing, after which Lu decided not to go so easy on him next time, since Lin Han's master seems to be extremely rich, with both money and a surplus of legendary equipment. Now, Lin Han looked at the auction, in which the last items to be brought out were the legendary great items that had been sold by Lin Han before. So Lin Han and Lu just went inside to enjoy some fine tea, and the host informed Lu that those legendary pieces had sold for 6.35 billion yen. Lin Han was shocked, and he calculated that even after a 20% commission fee cut, he would still be a multimillionaire. Lu was sure that he would send the money right away to Lin Han's bank account, and Lin Han was actually worried, because now he was not only an enemy of the Ma family, but he also had such a large sum of money with him. Manager Lu guaranteed him that nobody would be able to touch Lin Han, because his auction house would provide full security to him for 3 days. Lin Han took his words and left the auction house to head back home, but he was right away met with the people from the Ma family. Lin Han questioned how they had found him, to which Tai Yongxing replied that his men had already surrounded the auction house from every angle, so he had been looking for Lin Han. Lin Han declared no matter what, he would not give them the pass for ruin number 3. Tongzi offered to buy that pass for another 100 million than what Lin Han had bought it for, and the fact that they were willing to pay this much made the true value of that pass very clear to Lin Han. Then Xiexing spoke up to Lin Han, saying that she meant no harm, and that they would even be willing to share the ruins. Then Tai Xing shouted at Lin Han if he would give it to them or not. Xiexing told him to calm down, and Lin Han told Tai Xing to learn something from his sister, as she was at least a good talker. However, he still made it clear that he would never go back on his decisions. So he told them if they wanted it, they could come and get it themselves. Chongqing didn't waste a single second, and commanded everyone to attack Lin Han, and they all ambushed him at once. However, all of a sudden, everybody who had charged at Lin Han was beaten up by punches that came out like the wind. Then a female appeared and warned them to try again if they could. She was a beautiful lady in a pink outfit, and Lin Han understood that she was the security the auction house had given him. Chongqing recognized her and asked if she was the assassin queen, Senior Fei Hua. Fei Hua did not like to be seen as older, and she warned Chongqing not to forget the rules of the auction house. Customers were not allowed to sell the bought items for 3 days.
Mas Yang Xin
quickly stepped forward to apologize to Fei Hua for the violation, and said that they would retreat right away. Lin Han noticed that she, Anqing, was quite good at adapting to the situation, as she had retreated when needed. Now, he greeted the security girl and said that they should go now. She asked him, "Go where?" Lin Han told her that since the auction house had asked her to protect him for 3 days, she should take care of the people that Lin Han was sensing nearby. She also noticed that there were really some suspicious guys, but she didn't feel the need to do anything, because those guys hadn't done anything to him yet, and she wasn't being paid to do that. Lin Han asked how much it would cost to hire her to take action just once. She responded, after calculating, that it would be about 2 million. Lin Han just gave her the 2 million, and told her to take care of those guys there. Fei Hua accepted the request and took care of those guys right away. Lin Han approved that she was truly befitting of the title Assassin Queen, and within a few minutes she took care of all the suspicious guys who were stalking Lin Han in a 10-mile radius. She asked him if he would like to expand the search scope for 1.6 million. Lin Han asked her if she was sure on money or something. She replied with a sad expression that it was just that everything was just too expensive these days, from upgrade materials to clothes, bags, and even the toys, leading her to a shortage of money. Lin Han felt a little weird after listening to her big problems, and he decided to hire her as his personal bodyguard for 500 million a month. Fei Hua immediately changed her expression to a pleased one and said that money was her second priority, and the first would be to protect Lin Han. She said in a weird way that from today she was his. After days had passed, Lin Han was sleeping peacefully at night, while the monitoring division supervisor and his assistant were still keeping eyes on Lin Han. Constantly, they had been observing Lin Han for some days now, but Lin Han had done nothing suspicious. The supervisor told them to keep their eyes on him, and suddenly, everyone's expression turned pale as they looked at something behind the supervisor. The supervisor asked why they were all staring at him, while a shadow emerged from behind the supervisor. One of the guys told him there was something behind him, and this mysterious shadow caught the supervisor and told him that this was just a warning, and if they still keep surveillance on Lin Han, they would regret ever doing it. The guys from the monitoring division quickly accepted the terms and ran away from there. This shadow turned out to be Fei Hua, and she was making sure her boss Lin Han's sleep was not disturbed. The next morning, Lin Han woke up normally, and suddenly he got flustered when Fei Hua was standing right next to him. He asked her why she was in his room, to which she replied that she was just wondering who Lin Han had messed with, because some guys were hanging around his villa even at night, and she took care of them so she couldn't sleep. Lin Han was worried if she had killed any of those government guys, and she assured him not to worry, as she was very careful about what she does. She asked him if he would like to deepen their cooperation, after which Lin Han asked her, how deep was she talking about? Fei Hua asked, and why don't we just pay for the whole year at once, at a discount of 2 months? Totaling to 5 billion. Lin Han told her to at least have some sense of decency, as the queen of assassins. But she refuted that one can't make money with morals alone. Later at the training grounds, Lin Han went there and told Fei Hua that he was meeting a friend for a quick dungeon raid. Soon, Lin Han saw the person that he was waiting for, and it turned out to be Wang Yang, who was happy after meeting Lin Han, and he had also brought the healer Yun Yun. Lin Han asked how far he had progressed, to which both of them replied that they were just friends. Lin Han didn't like their response, as he could see that they were both lying, and Wang Qian asked him who the girl was beside him. In that case, Lin Han replied that she was just his cousin, and Fei Hua acted all sad and said that he was just calling her sweetie yesterday, and today she was a cousin. Suddenly, she asked if he was trying to get rid of her, and Wang Qian just called him a good player. Lin Han told Fei Hua to stop this and introduce herself for real. Afterward, she introduced herself with a fake name, Jiang Ruishuan, an assassin. Lin Han didn't expect her to change her name so quickly, and that aside, it was about time for them to head into the dungeon. Now, everyone prepared themselves for heading into the dungeon, and Lin Han asked if they would be okay, because they would have to show their ID to enter, and Fei Hua had used a fake name. She told him it would be fine, because she has an identical twin sister with the name Jiang Ruishuan, so she would be using her identity. And just like she said, it actually worked, and they were about to be teleported into the dungeon soon. Then they came across one of their old classmates, Yuan Sai, and Lin Han told him it was nice to meet him. However, Yuan Sai did not want to be teamed up with this monster,
referring to Lin Han.
But the dungeon entrance assigner scolded them, saying they can't change it now. After that, they teleported into the dungeon, and Wang Qian didn't expect this place to look so similar to the place they went to last time. Lin Han nodded that he was right and warned him that it was dangerous here. Wang Qian wanted to relive the moment when they had fought the hidden boss last time, and they proceeded further to explore this dungeon. However, after they went into the dungeon, they came across many minotaurs, which was supposed to be a rare boss monster, but now it was spawning like a common monster. Yuan Sai was fighting off the minotaur with his claws, but they were not that effective. So Yuan Sai planned on hiding in a safe place. Wang Qian told him there would be more dangerous monsters out there, so it would be much safer to stay near Lin Han. But Yuan Sai ran away. Lin Han, on the other hand, was fighting minotaurs with simple magic attacks, and he didn't want to let Yuan Sai get hurt, so he decided to go and find him. Wang Qian got worried about what they would do if Lin Han leaves, and Fei Hua asked them with a scary face if they thought she was useless. Wang Qian felt the pressure and said it might be too much for her to handle so many minotaurs at once. Fei Hua defeated a minotaur with no difficulty at all, and showed him that it was easy for her. She mentioned that she might not be that efficient, because she hadn't battled for a long time, but Wang Qian was now starting to fear her. After that, Lin Han left Wang Yang and Yunyan to Fei Hua, and she asked him for extra money for protecting the others. Lin Han agreed in a rush and went ahead to find Yuan Sai. Meanwhile, Yuan Sai was struggling as he ended up being surrounded by minotaurs, and he got into a situation that he couldn't run away from. He felt like he might die here today. Then Lin Han came and asked if he needed any help. Yuan Sai rejected his help, as he would rather die than beg for help, especially from Lin Han. Yuan Sai was having a tough time defending from the Minotaur's attacks, and Lin Han was commenting on his footstep being a little unrefined. Yuan Sai ended up being thrown off while blocking the Minotaur's attacks, and when he started bleeding, he asked Lin Han if the option of help was still up. Lin Han made it clear that he would have to beg for help if he wanted, and as the Minotaur was about to attack Yuan Sai, he ended up begging Lin Han to save him. Yuan Sai thought that it might be too late, but Lin Han was confident that it was fine, as he reached him just in time and deflected the Minotaur's attack. Yuan Sai sighed after finally being saved, but then he noticed they were surrounded from all angles by many Minotaurs. Lin Han asked him if he had forgotten his nickname already, and Yuan Sai mentioned that he still remembers Lin Han being called a violent priest. Lin Han chuckled as Yuan Sai still remembered. He promised Yuan Sai that he would break out of this for sure, but first he needed Yuan Sai to move away from here. So he threw him away, making Yuan Sai scream a threat to Lin Han. Later on, Lin Han defeated the Minotaurs by himself, and he also caught Yuan Sai just in time before he could fall. Lin Han asked, and how come he was so weak to vomit just from that? And Yuan Sai pulled his collar, asking him to try being thrown next. Lin Han casually asked how much experience did he gain, to which Yuan Shi replied that he got enough to change jobs soon after he gets out. Thanks to Lin Han, Then they saw huge explosions in the distance, and Lin Han asked Yuan Shi to follow him, as they needed to check out there. Around the same time, the Minotaurs had their weapons slashed by Wang Qian's card magic. He was getting used to fighting them now. Then Yunyan pinched him and said that he didn't need to be so happy because Fei Hua was the one to handle most of the monsters. Just then, Fei Hua warned both of them not to take it lightly, as she felt something wasn't right here. Yerim even asked what was wrong, and Fei Hua said that the Minotaurs just now were acting like they had lost their minds, which didn't seem quite right. After that, they suddenly sensed a powerful, ground-splitting attack coming from ahead, and it shook the place around them. The source of this attack was a Minotaur, which seemed pretty different, and significantly stronger from the previous Minotaurs they had faced. It was a platinum-level boss monster, the Minotaur Lord, and fighting him would definitely not be easy. Wang Qian and Yun Yun were terrified, as they had never expected to face a platinum-level monster out here. Fei Hua was keeping her calm, while thinking that she might have to use up her strongest moves, and risk her life to defeat this one. At the same time, Lin Han and Yuan Sai joined the battle, and Lin Han hoped that he wasn't too late for the fight. The Minotaur Lord got up from its seat, and only then did Yuan Sai notice it was a platinum-level boss monster, and he doubted if he would regret coming here. Lin Han told him it was too late now, as the Minotaur Lord attacked them at once with its sword. The Minotaur Lord's sword shattered the ground, while Lin Han and the others dodged it in time, and got out of its trajectory. With the dust settled down, the Minotaur Lord suddenly disappeared, and Wang Qian couldn't see it at all. Fei Hua then alerted them to be careful, and suddenly the ground beneath Wang Qian started breaking. As the Minotaur launched an attack from the ground on him, Wang Qian suffered a direct hit and went flying into the sky, and Yunyan also suffered some damage from the impact of the Minotaurs. The Minotaur defeated Wang Qian and Yunyan in a single moment. Wang Qian was unable to get up, so he requested that Yunyan run while he held that monster here. Yunyan didn't want to leave him behind, while the Minotaur was not going to wait for them and kill whoever was nearby first. But just when it hailed down its sword, the Minotaur's sword met with Lin Han's protective barrier. Lin Han saved those two, and told them to stop this drama and just get away if they were hurt. Yuan Sai carried both Wang Qian and Yun Yun to get them away from here, because he knew they would only hold Lin Han back. Wang Qian agreed with that and left this platinum boss to Lin Han. Lin Han was blocking the Minotaur Lord's attacks, so the monster went inside the ground to escape again. Lin Han was pissed off by this. Then Fei Hua mentioned that Lin Han seems to be pretty strong to be in scale, facing down a terrifying platinum-ranked beast. Lin Han reminded her that her sole purpose was to act as his shield, not the other way around. Fei Hua vowed to complete the task, her payment assured, telling him to witness her true power firsthand as she handled this. Lin Han calmly took a seat, ready to enjoy the spectacular power of his supreme master-ranked bodyguard. The Minotaur Lord erupted from the earth, launching an attack on Fei Hua. She remained utterly still, only moving at the final, impossible second, effortlessly evading its devastating blow. She then unleashed her assassin arts, creating a phantom mirage of herself, and with blinding speed, inflicted a flurry of crippling slashes upon the beast. She then single-handedly vanquished the Minotaur Lord with her ultimate technique, Flying Blossom Slash. The fearsome monster collapsed to the earth, now just a lifeless husk. Fei Hua then asked Lin Han if he had gotten his money's worth. Lin Han, thoroughly satisfied with her performance, acknowledged that she truly deserved her legendary title, the Queen of Assassins. Meanwhile, Yuan Sai was beginning to wonder why they hadn't heard any sounds of battle for a while now, as if Lin Han had been slaughtered by that monstrous Minotaur. Wang Qian exclaimed at him for even thinking such a thing. Then, suddenly, a brilliant magic circle appeared beneath their feet, a clear sign that they had completed this perilous dungeon. They were all instantly teleported back to the main dungeon square, and the massive announcement screen flashed that Lin Han and his team had successfully cleared a hidden mission. After they had returned, the dungeon's manager, Tian, called Lin Han a young hero for clearing out that dungeon and invited him for dinner. Lin Han called him out for intentionally sending them in there, but Tian insisted he had done nothing to offend the young man. Lin Han described that, even though this was designated as a gold-level dungeon. He and his team were ambushed by a platinum-level monster inside. He declared that if not for his own hidden power, all of them would be dead because of Tion's criminal negligence. Tion quickly checked Lin Han's dungeon entry card, and his face paled. It had indeed been tampered with. Lin Han made it clear that this would not be resolved with a mere apology, not when their very lives had been put at stake. Tion then asked what Lin Han would have him do, to which Lin Han replied that, since Wang Qian was the one most gravely injured in this incident, he should be the one to determine the proper compensation. Wang Qian thought for a moment and then said that he would be satisfied with 2 pieces of gold-level equipment. Lin Han felt a bit of pity because of his friend's modest demand, only because he had never witnessed true wealth before. Lin Han wanted his friend to be far more ambitious. The dungeon's manager, Tion, immediately agreed to the compensation requested by Wang Qian, and he promised to include 3 copies of their best-selling scrolls as well. Wang Qian thanked him and told him to send the items to Lin Han's home. Tion expressed his sincere apologies and gave his word to deliver it tomorrow, and Lin Han warned him to ensure something like this would never happen again. However, Lin Han had a strong hunch that Chun was not truly behind this plot, so that raised the terrifying question of who wanted to harm him. Lin Han wondered if it was someone from the vengeful Ma family who had used the dungeon to try and eliminate him, but then he was slapped on both of his cheeks by Fei Hua. Lin Han demanded to know what that was for. She replied it was merely an effort to lighten his somber mood. Lin Han asked if she thought the dungeon was tampered with by the Ma family. She replied that there was no one else who could have done such a thing without leaving any trace, so she highly doubted that was the case. Lin Han asked her if she could deal with the Ma family. She burst into a fit of fear, because while she was a supreme master, the Ma family head was a 76-year-old man with a level of at least 76, and a god-level master. Lin Han told her to just be honest and admit that she was scared. She reasoned, why wouldn't she be terrified? There were only 3 known god-level masters in the entire country. However, she doubted if the Ma family would truly pull off something like this, because they had numerous supreme masters who could have come to deal with Lin Han in a more direct fashion. Lin Han asked if there were many god-level masters in other countries. She replied that there were around 12 god-level masters out there, and that they had formed a single line of defense to stop even stronger monsters from rampaging across the world. Lin Han was glad to see that she was so incredibly well informed. Fei Hua told him that he was just too young, and had seen too little of this world to know very much. Lin Han teased that even if she knows so much, she didn't seem to be one of the top supreme masters. After hearing what, she apologized for not being one of them and decided to leave right away. Lin Han stopped her, saying his money would be wasted if she were to leave. Now she stopped and asked something that had been on her mind for some time. Fei Hua asked Lin Han that if he could send a platinum monster flying, just what was his true combat power. Actually, Lin Han told her that was his secret and refused to answer. Fei Hua became extremely curious and requested him with a cute face to tell her. Lin Han told her not to get so close, and replied that his true strength would probably be invincible. Below the diamond level, Fei Hua was enchanted to hear that, and praised him for being so powerful at such a young age. However, Lin Han had actually kept from telling her his real strength, as he was truly invincible at the supreme level in reality. But he didn't want to disclose that fact just now. She asked him if he could heal a supreme master's wounds as a 3rd advancement priest, to which he replied that he had never really tried healing anyone before, but he believed it was possible. In reality, Lin Han could even bring a person back from the dead with his forbidden resurrection spell. Fei Hua decided she would come to him if she ever gets hurt then, and it made Lin Han think as if he were her own exclusive priest. Now Fei Hua asked him where they would be staying the night.
Lin Han muttered
that he would obviously be going back home, and she should come with him as well. Fei Hua gave a dramatic overreaction to his words, and started giggling while lost in her own fantasy. Lin Han wondered what on earth she was thinking about. Then, out of nowhere, she told him that she wouldn't sell her body while performing her duty. Lin Han told her not to think so much, and he ended up going back home with Fei Hua after all. Upon his return, he asked his mother if their food was ready, while Fei Hua, on the other hand, directly greeted Lin Han's mother and father as uncle and auntie. Lin Han's parents thought that their son had finally grown up, and they told him to exercise some moderation. Lin Han told them that it was not what they think, and he asked Fei Hua to explain the situation. But he saw that she was not standing beside him, but was already talking to his parents, saying that she would be heading to her room to rest, and then went away. His father asked Lin Han if they were having fun, leaving him with many questions to answer to them later. In the middle of the night, Lin Han suddenly woke up and saw that Fei Hua was sleeping right next to him. He asked her why she was in his bed. She just mumbled "good morning" and went back to sleep again. Lin Han asked her why she was not in her own bed and what had happened in the night. Fei Hua replied that nothing had happened, which put Lin Han's heart to a great relief. Then she mentioned she had just slept here. When she came to give him the items delivered by the dungeon's manager, Lin Han asked how she could have gotten her guard so low as an assassin. She assured him that she would wake up right away when there's any trouble. She gave him 3 tickets which contained the items, and he gave one of them to her. She asked him why he was giving it to her. He replied it was just to help her to level up, since she had just become a supreme master recently. Fei Hua didn't get why he was being so nice to her. He just muttered this was to make her even stronger, since the stronger she will be, the better she would be able to protect him. She held his hand out of pure happiness, and at that same time, his mother came to tell them about breakfast. Lin Han got startled and tried to explain to his mother, but she just said she would make some chicken soup for nourishment, and left. Fei Hua asked if he wanted her to explain it to his auntie. He claimed he would do it himself, as the more she explained, the more confusing it would all get. Now she mentioned that she would have to stop by the trading guild to report to Manager Lu, and out of curiosity, she asked him if he knew Manager Lu well. Lin Han mentioned that they had done business a few times, and that they knew each other pretty well. He asked her what was up then. Fei Hua told him that Manager Lu was said to have a pretty complicated background, and as far as she knows, the person in charge of the trading guild was also named Lu. Lin Han wondered if Manager Lu was related to the owner of the guild. Then she added that since the interviews for the top 5 universities were coming soon, she asked him if he plans on entering a prestigious college and studying hard. Lin Han thought about how much trouble he was getting himself in these days, and thought that he should get admission into a university to avoid any more suspicions. Later at the admission center, Lin Han saw there were quite many people here for the interview. Some guys came and informed Lin Han that he didn't have to go to the general section, and he would be given a chance instead to choose his mentors in the university himself. Lin Han liked the idea, and followed them to the B-block admission building, where Lin Han was taken to the room with all the mentors of the universities. However, Lin Han could feel the atmosphere was too heavy for some reason. Then a guy with a beard stood up and asked Lin Han, the world's first 3rd advancement priest, to join their academy, and they will make sure to train him well, and make him the strongest priest out there. The old man in the other chair said, why would Lin Han need training when he was already the strongest priest? And asked him to join their Juan University instead, as they would take care of all the natural disaster sources he would need. The blue-garbed man said that Lin Han's potential would be wasted in other colleges, and asked him to join his college instead. The others started taking their turns, from Scheming University to even King Yun University, which was an all-girls university. Lin Han was feeling strange, as he thought that these guys didn't like him before at the time of the entrance exams, and now they were recruiting him so actively. Then another guy told him to join their Chanqi University, where each student relies on their own strength to obtain resources. And if Lin Han wanted to obtain the source of a natural disaster, he could only come out on top in the university's various competitions, and get them as a prize. But he promised that only if Lin Han could guarantee that he would always come in first place, which would require him to be confident enough to say yes. The others were feeling odd after hearing that, and they questioned how he could say that, because never ever before had anyone other than Fei Hua achieved all the first places in Chanqi University. Lin Han learned just now that Fei Hua had also studied in Chanqi University, which means she was quite good at hiding, even after she had made quite a name for herself. Then the blue-haired guy asked If Lin Han wanted natural disaster sources to advance to the 4th level, they would even be willing to help him create man-made disasters. Lin Han asked if that was really possible at all, while inside he knew he had caused them twice himself. The blue-haired man replied that, as long as the scope of the disasters was controlled, the man-made disasters do not cause much damage, and also provide the sources. The professor of Chiang Kai said that his offer was nothing compared to his. But the blue-haired man wanted to make an offer anyway, since it was up to Lin Han to pick. Now Lin Han thanked everyone for speaking their minds, and said that he had already made his choice as well. Lin Han declared that he had decided to choose the King Chi University, and the professor from King Chi assured them they would not let him down. He gave an admission form to Lin Han, and told him to report to the university. 3 months later, Lin Han went back and met with Fei Hua. He mentioned she had finished her business with Lu pretty quickly. She mentioned that she must have wanted to come early to see which university he had picked. Lin Han mentioned that the university, which had produced the youngest Supreme Master, had picked his eyes. And it was said that during her time she had set many first-class records, and Lin Han wanted to challenge her. Fei Hua found all of this familiar to hear, and she realized that he had chosen Chinky University, the same place where she had graduated from. She didn't expect that her legends were still circulating in the academy. Lin Han mentioned that it was just a coincidence, while Fei Hua told him that she would be his senior from now on, so he should call her senior. Lin Han didn't see anything that looked like a senior about her. Then suddenly, he sensed something, and mentioned to her that someone seemed to be following them. He asked her to identify them, and Fei Hua saw through all of the suspicious people around them, and there seemed to be 3 groups of people. She confirmed that they were definitely from the Ma family, and Lin Han hated that they just would not let him go. He left this one to her to handle, and she claimed to take care of them in 30 seconds. One day, one of the men from the Ma family greeted their young master, Tang Xin, and informed him that all 3 groups were wiped out like they were nothing, and they didn't have enough manpower to deal with Lin Han, so it was better to make a retreat. Chang Xing exclaimed that they can't retreat, and now they were in a situation, as his sister had gotten locked in for losing the past, and he can't afford to lose it no matter what, for her sake. The guy mentioned that their opponent's strength was beyond their imagination, and even the Supreme Master Fei Hua has been hired by Lin Han. Chai Anjing became serious, and figured he had no choice but to invite someone right now. He went to a house and called out his uncle Jean, and told him that his sister had been placed under house arrest, and it was so important for him to achieve that ruin pass, that he had to come and ask Jean for his help. The door opened, and Jean asked Tian Xing to let him see the target. Chansing provided a single strand of hair that belonged to Lin Han, and used magic to show him what he looked like through it. Suddenly, Lin Han woke up from his sleep and felt that something was off. Fei Hua also felt it, and Lin Han understood that it was them, the Ma family again, and they just won't stop being so stubborn. Chani asked him what his plan was to do now, because she had sensed a powerful aura coming from the border of the city, which amounted to at least a Supreme Master. Lin Han figured if he kept hiding, his identity would be exposed sooner or later, and that would put his family in danger. So he decided to take the initiative right away. She asked him if he was crazy, because that opponent now was a Supreme Master. Lin Han asked if she was also a Supreme Master, and besides, the opponent had already set the battlefield for him, so he couldn't spoil the fun by running away. After some time, Lin Han arrived at the border of the city, the wastelands, where Taiyang Xian sensed something approaching him, with the intent to kill. Then, someone blocked her sword and pointed out that they were surely so skilled at shadow killing, despite being so young. It was an old man, and he made Fei Hua retreat a few steps. She asked the man who he was, while Lin Han greeted Tai Xing, and told him that he surely did great in finding him, with the help of putting something of Lin Han's in that compass. Tai Xing cut to the chase and told him to keep giving the ruin pass, and this would all be settled. Lin Han didn't yield to his warning, in which case, Taiyang Xian was ready to finish off both Lin Han and his security. Right here, as he called out Uncle John to get him. John was currently toying around with Fei Hua, and she was giving her best to face him. But John didn't put much effort in, and crushed her sword like it was nothing. His attack landed on her and sent her flying all the way back. Lin Han caught her in time and teased How come she got defeated in just 1 second? She exclaimed that her opponent wasn't a pushover this time, and judging by his weapon, that old man could only be one person. The three-bladed sword master, Zhang Siphon, a veteran supreme master. Zhang was pleased to be recognized just by his power, and he told the man that they know him. They should hand over the ruin number 3 fragment, and they would be free to go. Otherwise, they would have to leave their lives behind. Fei Hua laughed and claimed that she was too careless before, but that won't happen now. She refused to go down that easily and attacked Zhang again. With her assassin skills, she covered Zhang with shadows and declared that she would go all out right off the bat. However, when she stabbed her sword into the shadows that were trapping Zhang, Tian Xian asked his uncle to be careful, and Zhang pushed her back with just his aura. Fei Hua then surrounded herself with fire magic, and Zhang realized that she was planning to strike him with a dagger. Lin Han was about to help Fei Hua, but Tian Xian stopped his path and declared that he would be his opponent. Lin Han was extremely mad, so he just decided to settle this once and for all, right here. Tianxing then activated his skill and summoned his armor and sword, as he declared that he was a platinum level 49, and he was just 1 step away from diamond. He claimed to be planning from an early age to enter these ruins, and he had gone as far as to keep from leveling up, because these ruins allowed only under diamond people. But that was ruined for him by Lin Han. So he charged at him to take out his anger for coming in his way, and hand over the ruin pass before he died. However, Taixing was caught off guard when he saw Lin Han, stopped his advance by blocking his sword with just 1 finger. Lin Han called him a fraud in the well, and told him how he could even claim to be invincible below the diamond level with this level of skills. He decided to show him what it means to be invincible, and hit off the sword away from Tianxing's hands to the ground next. Lin Han sprinted at Tianxing with the intent to kill, and hit him with a series of punches all over his armor. Tianxing could do nothing but see his armor chipping off. After being hit by Lin Han repeatedly, he landed on the ground with a shattered impact on the ground, and started foaming at the mouth. Lin Han was unscathed as he stood there until Tianxing woke up. Tianxing told him not to come any closer out of fear, and Lin Han told him to give him that compass, and he would let him live. Otherwise, he'll make sure that even his family won't be able to protect him. Tianxing claimed it was just a bluff, because he still had plenty of armors, and Lin Han surely won't be able to break all of them. Lin Han punched him, only to be blocked by a shield that appeared out of nowhere. Tianxing told Lin Han not to waste his efforts, because this shield was a supreme-level treasure. Lin Han was pissed as he saw the power of the money of the mafia to allow just a platinum-ranked knight to carry a treasure of defense. Lin Han figured since Tai Ming wasn't wearing his armor, the shield must come out only in a death threat. Tianxing told him that once his uncle Zhang comes, after defeating Fei Hua, he'll be dead for sure. Lin Han figured that these shields surely had too much defense power, so there was only one way to break it. Lin Han transformed all of a sudden with his veil mask, and activated the forbidden spell that nullifies any magic nearby to deactivate the shield. Tianxing questioned just what was going on. Then he saw an old master standing right where Lin Han was. He questioned Tianxing if it was him who had forced his disciple, Lin Han, to summon him. And in reality he was Lin Han himself, disguised as an old man. Tianxing felt that the aura of the old man was that of the Supreme Master, and he questioned just where Lin Han had gone. Lin Han stated that since the Ma family had revealed all their cards, and were going after his disciple's life, he naturally had to come to take care of this. Lin Han activated a powerful spell, and Taiyang Xian quickly requested the old man to leave his name, and the Ma family would pay for any damages. Lin Han knew Tian Xian was trying to get his name, and then hire his family head to kill him. Lin Han activated the Chaos Domain, and purple lightning formed in the sky, and it fell wherever Lin Han wanted it to. Lin Han pointed it all on Tianxing, and a purple thunder fell on him, shattering the ground in the process. Meanwhile, at the Magic Detection Center, the workers found another strong magic energy wave coming abnormally. Boss Sun, who suspected that it was that forbidden spell being used again, making him wonder just why these powerful people even stayed here in Huyu City. Sun Hu asked Master Linton what they should do now, while Linton sensed that the forbidden spell this time was much stronger than the last time. It made him wonder if it was the same person from before, and it seemed that 2 or more supreme beings had gathered here in the city, and were facing each other. So he ordered for the city to be put to a first-degree alert, and to evacuate any people nearby the dangerous areas. Sun Hu was worried about making it there in time, before the effects of the forbidden spell spread too far into the main city. Meanwhile, Fei Hua was still fighting against Zhang and unleashed her last move, Flying Flower Slash, which created a mirage of multiple Fei Hua attacking Zhang. Zhang fended off her attacks with some effort, and received a few cuts while blocking it. Fei Juan knew that even if she had caused some damage, she might not be able to defeat Zhang. Zhang told her that if only he hadn't been injured in his last adventure, he would have become a holy man by now. But regardless, she was no match for him. Even now, she doubted if he still had a trump card up his sleeve. And Zhang replied that in a long time, he had stayed as a supreme master. He had perfected a forbidden spell of his own. Zhang started casting his forbidden spell of his own, and Fei Hua could feel a terrifying sword energy from him, which could seriously kill her. Just then, Zhang thought Miss Tianxing was in danger. He sensed an immense aura like a forbidden-level spell. He called Fei Hua lucky that he needed to leave right away, and she sighed as her life was not in danger anymore. However, she was concerned if Lin Han was safe. Meanwhile, Lin Han attacked Hanqing's shield with a forbidden spell, and just one hit shattered the whole defense like it was nothing. Xianxing couldn't believe his eyes, as the strength of the spell was just inhumane. Then some red chains emerged from the ground and chained Tianxing, and the one behind it was also Lin Han. He asked Tianxing if he would kindly feel honored to die under his spell. Chongqing didn't understand just how this old sage's attacks worked, to which Lin Han replied that the very essence of his chaos domain was to attack the enemy until death. Chongqing was afraid he would die today as the lightning approached him. Then, 3 magic swords appeared and blocked Lin Han's attack just in time, resulting in a shaky recoil, causing tremors on the ground. Zhang declared that he would teach this old man a lesson with his most powerful spell. And when Lin Han saw Zhang here, he was worried if Fei Hua had been defeated by him. Chongjing told his uncle not to hold back against this guy, because he wanted to kill his nephew. Zhang guaranteed that he won't let anyone touch a single strand of his hair. Lin Han challenged Zhang to see how long his 3 blades will last under his continuously attacking spell, after which the clash of Lin Han's chaos domain against Zhang's 3 blades began. Zhang was confident that the full power of this technique would surely achieve him a victory here, as he raised the power of his 3 blades to their maximum output. The 3 blades looked much larger and more refined than before, and Zhang was very proud of his forbidden spell. Soon, Fei Hua also arrived and asked the old man, "Where did Lin Han go?" He replied that his disciple Lin Han was in a safe place, after hearing which she suggested they should make an escape. However, Lin Han claimed that those 3 swords were nothing more than a common spell for him. But in reality, Lin Han wasn't sure how much the power and experience gap between him and that old man Zhang was. He jumped above and declared to Zhang to shatter his forbidden spell, if he dared to with his swords. This time, Lin Han summoned a large rock in the sky and threw it on Zhang, while Zhang confronted it with his sword. The clash between these two caused the whole region to fall under chaos, and then 2 of the swords broke down from the overwhelming power of Lin Han's attack. However, Zhang explained that now that his 2 swords were broken, the last one was twice as powerful as before, resulting in no loss on his side. He pushed the sword from the sides and attacked Lin Han from another angle. Fei Hua told Lin Han to dodge quickly, but Lin Han didn't consider this attack to even be worth actively dodging from. However, he was just kidding, and right now he was waiting for his mana to cool down, since it wouldn't let him cast magic. For now, Lin Han relied on the timing, and just before the sword reached him, his cooldown was over, and Lin Han shattered the sword. Then he casted red binding chains to constrain Zhang in his place. While Zhang was focused on the chains, Lin Han told him that they were just an appetizer, and the main dish was right above him. Zhang looked up, and was left shocked by the sight of a deadly guillotine in the sky. He couldn't make sense out of the red sky that followed along, and Lin Han told him that this was his ultimate killing. Forbidden spell, Doomsday Judgment. As the guillotine approached him, Lin Han declared that his time was over. Now, however, the 3-bladed master Zhang gave every stamina of his to cut off that guillotine, and he breathed heavily after barely escaping his death. Lin Han figured that their blade truly lived up to his name, as was expected of a supreme master, and it made him consider using his trump card. Now, just then, a voice came, asking those two how they could fight while ignoring him, and John recognized this voice belonged to Linton. John and Linton had a reunion after a long time, and Lin Han was a bit worried. After seeing both of them being acquaintances, he wondered if he could beat them both by using his trump card. Then, Linton shouted that he would need both of them to stop this fight, or they would be taken to the imperial prison. Chang Zhang told his uncle they shouldn't fight anymore, but Lin Han was offended and declared that it wasn't a joke to just fight when they want and retreat in the middle when they want as well. Lin Han thought that if he were to show any weakness here today, then he would be in a lot of trouble in the future, so he can't afford to back down, and demanded them for a good explanation. Every soul present here, Lin Han unleashed a torrent of powerful magic spells, and Linton could feel the surrounding magic being completely consumed by those forbidden incantations, which meant he would be powerless to fight back if necessary. On the other side, Lin Han was secretly terrified, because he knew he could only maintain this state for 3 more minutes, with all of these spells simultaneously active, so he desperately hoped the opposing side would make a move very soon. On the surface, however, Lin Han boldly declared he could take on all of them together. His sheer power made this threat seem incredibly plausible to his opponents. Then, an unexpected outsider arrived and asked, "Why don't we all settle this matter calmly for once?" The group of people who had just arrived here were the prominent figures from the 5 great and powerful families, and they greeted everyone present. Lin Han felt a wave of fear, as he would now have to face 6 supreme masters, and the worst-case scenario would be for him to be taken to the imperial prison, and his true identity would be exposed along with it. Lin Han made it abundantly clear that it was the Ma family who had forced his disciple to this desperate point, and now, he would not settle down until he had his revenge.
Genfeng, Guangsu.
And Li Changkai discussed amongst themselves and said that, since the Ma family had initiated this conflict, they should be the ones to offer compensation by never bothering the old man and his disciple ever again. Chai Yenzing knew that they had been proven guilty here, so he admitted his family was indeed at fault here, and he requested forgiveness from the great Lin Han. After he had apologized on behalf of the entire Ma family, everyone requested that the old man please forgive them. Lin Han stated that he was not an unreasonable man, so he cancelled his powerful spells, shielding his inner thoughts. He was glad he had managed to scare them all off. Fortunately, John took Tai Anxing and headed off for home, and Cheng Feng asked the old man if he was glad things were now settled. Now, Lin Han stated that he doesn't like to socialize, so he was about to leave right away. But Linton called out to him and requested that he stop, after which, Lin Han got extremely pissed off because he really didn't have a single drop of mana left in him. Linton politely mentioned that there have been a lot of forbidden spells used in the city for some time, and asked if he knew anything about it.
Lin Han figured
that Linton must have already been sure about him being the source of them, but he still decided to act mysterious, and answered that he just happened to see a supreme mage and a supreme warrior fight some time ago, but since he was a simple man, he didn't pay much attention and left, just like he was leaving right now. Linton was very much sure after seeing that wind, lightning, shadow, and space magic of forbidden level being used by Lin Han at the same time, and he figured that this man was too mysterious and too powerful, enough to become a very dangerous problem in the future, if he so wished to later. At Lin Han's house, he returned back home as soon as he possibly could and lay down on his bed, out of sheer exhaustion. He knew that he must not do this again next time, and he slept just like that. The next day, he woke up to an extremely painful body, and it hurt so much, but it was really a necessary evil. Then, Fei Hua entered without a signal into his room to wish him a good morning, and Lin Han was so startled that he crawled into a blanket and told her to knock first. She asked if he feared that she would take advantage of him, and started teasing him like her usual self. Then, Fei Jiao called him out and said she was actually here to say goodbye, because a new mission suddenly came down from the trading guild, so she won't be able to protect him anymore. And she didn't want to refund the money either. Lin Han told her not to worry about that, and that she didn't have to return the money, and he'll be counting on her to protect him next time. Lin Han patted her on the head and said that she must be still injured from the previous battle, so he told her not to work too hard on her new missions. Fei Hua was happy to be treated so well. Then she remembered that since Lin Han was going to Chanqi University, she wanted him to take care of her sister, Zhang Ruixuan, for her, without telling her that she was the one who had asked him to take care of her. Lin Han wondered why, since they were sisters, and it would be good to tell her that her elder sister was worried. Fei Hua stated that she was not exactly on good terms, and that Ruixuan had been holding grudges against her. Lin Han didn't pry any further, and then her phone rang, and Fei Hua had to leave for work. She told him to take care and left through the window, leaving Lin Han wondering why she never used the doors. 1 month later, it was time for Lin Han to go to the university. But when he arrived there, he and the other students were creeped out when they first saw the large gate and the decorations in the university for the freshers. Lin Han suddenly reconsidered dropping out, and then some seniors arrived and said that they thought this gate was terrible too first, but after she had heard the speech from the dean, it didn't seem too bad. Lin Han asked what he had said in his speech. She said the dean's words were that they would sooner or later become strong one day, and this gate would be their both goal and their starting point. Lin Han thought that it sounded good. Then the green-haired girl introduced herself as Feng Yunxin, and Lin Han introduced himself to her as well. She accompanied him to the admissions hall and asked if everything she had heard about him was true, from winning first place in an exam to killing a monster with a single punch. Despite being a priest, Lin Han agreed that was the case, and she felt lucky to have met him at the gate. She offered to guide him all the way to submit his enrollment form, but when they arrived there, a guy saw Young Shin and started flirting with her, with a bouquet of flowers. But Young Shin told that guy, Zhang Jianin, to not disturb her right now. After hearing that, Zhang Jianin told her he was just curious about her, and asked about this person on her side. She introduced Lin Han, the top scorer in the entrance exam, and she was suddenly handling the admission procedures for him. Tom and Julian's expression turned pale, as if he had heard of Lin Han before. But he didn't care and told Lin Han to get out of his way, as he wanted to talk to Young Shin. Lin Han stepped in and said that she didn't seem to be wanting to talk to him.
John Janin varned Lin Han.
That he was currently messing with the only guy in this university who shouldn't be messed with. He passed the bouquet to another guy behind him and told Lin Han that his family does a lot of business with Chanqi University, so he shouldn't dare to stop him. The other lackeys of Jianin started mocking, how dare a newbie be so naive? And Jianin told him that he must have realized the situation now. He offered to let bygones be bygones. If only Lin Han decides to join his group. Lin Han told him to cut this crap, and that he was open to see what he could do. Lin Han didn't give any warnings and kicked Jianin, and instantly sent him flying straight to hit the wall behind him. Lin Han said that was pretty pathetic, while Jianin's lackeys quickly called others, and carried Jianin out of there. It was then that a female student, looking very similar to Fei Hua, arrived at the scene, and her presence seemed to be quite well known around here. One of the lackeys of Jianen asked Jean Ruxin when she had come back, but she scolded him and his gang for messing up things. On the day of the new students' registration, it was very well known that she was the sister of the university's all-time topper and graduate, Fei Hua. Lin Han recognized her right away as well, and got his enrollment card checked as well. Lin Han introduced himself to Zhang Ruixuan, and hoped that they would get to know each other. But Ruixuan told him not to talk to her, as she wasn't that free. Lin Han figured she was as arrogant as her sister, so he just ignored her for now and sorted the other things out. First, after the registration, he asked if he could go to his dormitory, and he was allowed to do so while following the locations on the map. Later at the students' dormitory, Lin Han arrived at his room and knocked to check if there was anyone inside. A guy with brown hair opened the door, and Lin Han introduced himself and asked if they would be roommates. But suddenly, the brown-haired guy just closed the door, and came back a few seconds later, with a notebook and a serious stare. He launched his introduction at Lin Han like a missile, saying his name was Tang Xingqi, a silver level 6 Thunder Mage. He requested that Lin Han sign an autograph on the notebook. Lin Han was surprised to meet a fan, and he told him not to exaggerate things, since they were roommates. He asked if their other roommates were here as well, to which Tang Sinki only replied that he was excited to see the world's only triple advancement. Gold-level priest was his roommate. Lin Han didn't exactly want to be treated like a rare animal. Then another one of their roommates just arrived, and expressed his surprise on seeing that his roommate was Lin Han. He had silver hairs just like his silver rank, and he introduced his name, Sun Liangxi, a spear knight. After hearing his name, Tang Xian, Kai recognized that he was the sixth young master of the Gong Xian family. Lin Han thought that he might be destined to be around these 5 families, where some Liangxi wished that they'd be good to him for the next 4 years of their academy. Then their last roommate arrived, and it turned out to be Yuan Shi. Lin Han quickly wrapped his arm around him and said that they would have fun as roommates from now on. Lin Han introduced Human Sai as his good friend, after which Sun Lin and Sai called for a dinner party. As they had 2 gold-ranked players as their roommates, everyone cheered up, and Tang Sinki was so happy that he cried tears of joy. After that, they headed off to the cafeteria of the university, where the place was much more luxurious than anywhere else, and there were maids with bunny ears. Yuan Shi remarked that it was so luxurious that the hotel in his home city couldn't even be compared to just the first floor of this hotel. Some Liangxi informed them that the cafeteria was the only place where students could spend their money, and the first floor was actually the commoner's dining room. He mentioned that the upper floors were even more luxurious, and they even had dishes with direct effects, and the building also had many more services, but they would need points to use them there. Lin Han didn't know what points were. Sun Liangxi explained that here at Chang'e University, points were more useful than money, and they could be used to resolve anything. Tang Sinkit was glad to have someone informative with them. Then a waitress came and informed them that their room was prepared. They were taken to the upper floors in one of the private rooms, where Lin Han and the gang celebrated with drinks, and had their first dinner together. Sun Liangxi was hoping to get good grades at the freshman meeting this year, since their group was so amazing. Lin Han asked if this freshman meeting was like a welcome party. Sun Liangxi replied that it wasn't just a welcome party, but more like a battle to determine how to allocate resources within the Chang'e University. The more freshers one beats in this battle, the more resources they would receive from the university. It was said that if a student defeats 20 students, they would get 10% of the university's resources for a year. Yuan and I wondered if anyone had ever completed this challenge. Sun Liangxi responded that there was once a student who not only completed this test, but also won various other achievements and monopolized like 60% of the university's resources. Everyone in that time lived under her shadow for some years, until she graduated with her level being Supreme Master. At a young age, Lin Han felt like all of this sounded too familiar, and it only means that Fei Hua was still a legend in Chang'e University. Suddenly, they heard a person shouting outside of their room, and when Lin Han went to check, he saw Jainin standing there with his lackeys. He mocked Lin Han right away, asking how come he got the money to enter here. Lin Han asked if that kick from before wasn't enough for him, or did he like being beaten up. Jainin warned him to watch his tongue and show some respect to his seniors. At the same time, Young Shin and her friend arrived and called out Jainin for causing trouble in the cafeteria. She warned everyone if they wanted their points to be deducted. When Jainin saw Young Shin, he didn't want to look bad, and asked her if she wanted him to drop her home. She replied that she had her own legs to walk and didn't need to be escorted. She scolds him to stop causing trouble for the freshmen, and Jainin behaves himself afterwards. He walked away, calling Lin Han lucky to get away again, and Young Shin's friend came and asked him if he was interested in Young Shin. Young Shin told her to stop talking nonsense, and she proceeded to give her number to Lin Han to call her next time if Jean and caused any trouble for him again. Lin Han thanked her, while Young Shin's friend said that she just wanted some excuse to exchange numbers with her crush. Young Shin got mad and started chasing her away. Yuan Shi came and put his hand on Lin Han's shoulder, saying that surely he was quick to win over the heart of a beauty already. He said they were now at odds with each other because of this, but when Lin Han asked if he wanted to try it, Yuan Shi backed off instantly. Lin Han told him that they should get out of here soon, while he was sensing some hostility coming from nearby. He didn't think it could be Jainin, since he had just left, but in any case, the others also decided to head back to their dorm. While they were returning home, Lin Han's suspicion seemed to be on the spot, as a guy was stalking them. Later, in the middle of the night, everyone in Lin Han's dorm was sleeping, when a shadow appeared from the window. It was the same stalker, and he entered the room with a sharp dagger in his hand. The guy was about to attack Yuan Sai, but then Lin Han caught his hand and asked who he was, walking around with such a murderous aura. The stalker got startled and ran off outside the window in a hurry. Lin Han chased him for some time at a fast speed, and both of them ended up heading to the cemetery. In the Chang'e University, Lin Han almost got the man, but suddenly he vanished, and to Lin Han's surprise, he appeared right behind him. That guy didn't know who Lin Han was, but since he was strong, he decided to fight back. He slashed his dagger around Lin Han, and Lin Han saw the gaps, and caught the guy's elbow and made him stab himself. The stalker didn't understand what had just happened, to which Lin Han replied that it was just a trick he had picked up a long time ago. After this, the stalker considered Lin a threat that must be eliminated before he became a great danger. However, the guy prioritized escaping for now and disappeared, leaving a red mist behind. Lin Han saw him escape in a weird way, and a person emerged from the tree behind Lin Han, and clapped to praise Lin Han's skill to see his opponent's weakness, and counter it at a glance. Lin Han turned out to be better than he had expected, and Lin Han recognized that the man was the director of this university, Su. He asked him how that assassin had gotten into the university, to which Su replied that the man seemed to have used a special method to avoid detection by the university, and now it seems they would have to increase the patrols, so it wouldn't happen again. He decided to give Lin Han some points to make up for the trouble. Then he asked Lin Han who that guy was and why he would want to kill him.
Lin Han replied
that he didn't know exactly, and mentioned feeling a killing intent nearby. Ever since the afternoon, he guessed it might be a freshman who wanted to kill the other competitors. Director Su got the gist and figured he had a lot to worry about now. He asked him how Fei Hua was doing, after which Lin Han fell silent and wondered if he was trying to trick him. Director Zhu was sure that he didn't have to be nervous, and he hoped to keep a good interaction with Lin Han, since his master was so very powerful. Now, he asked Lin Han to head back to the dorm and sleep, because he needs to be prepared for tomorrow's freshman competition. Lin Han was still wondering if Director Su had guessed Fei Hua, being an acquaintance of his, or did the other families have caught up to his true identity? But since his master, which was himself, was so powerful, they wouldn't be foolish enough to mess with him. The next day, at the university auditorium of the university, the seniors welcomed all the freshmen, and the speech was about to begin. All the students were exaggerated for this, and the girl announced that now the vice principal would say a few words. The vice principal announced to the students that, like every year, there would be a tournament, where they could choose to head a team of either other freshmen, seniors, or veterans, and depending on the strength of each team, the referee would award points to the winners. He declared that to pass the final assessment and defeat 5 diamond-level veterans, they would receive 10% of the university's resources. This year, he detailed that their university not only provides basic training, but also advanced training resources, and this right here was a chance for the winner to monopolize some of these resources, to show their talents. His speech motivated the students to give their best to this freshman competition, and they were ready to compete with each other.
Lin Han
didn't feel much impressed to see how everyone was ready to compete here, but he figured there must be something more to this too, because Fei Gao was here. Now, without further ado, the vice principal declared the beginning of this competition, and the auditorium's roof opened, revealing the arena was the stage, where the vice principal was standing. Now the action began, and the first one to jump to the stage was a senior student named Tianyi. He challenged the freshmen to feel free to test out their strengths against him. Lin Han found this quite weird. Then Sun Lianxi mentioned that guy seemed to be the right person to start this all off. Lin Han asked if he knew that guy. Sun Lianxi replied that he had just heard that Tai Mei was a Vajra warrior by profession, and his profession makes him stronger after every battle he loses. So the only way for that man to get stronger was to get beaten up. A freshman challenged him just now, and he was sent flying within a few seconds. Chen Mei laughed off, and asked if there was really no one up to challenge him. Then Sun Liangxi jumped above and asked the senior Tai Mei to let him try a powerful trick. In that case, Sun Liang she attacked him with a lightning punch, but it was easily blocked by Tai Mei with his defense skill. Chindani told him it wasn't strong enough. However, Sun Liansai was already powerful according to his age, and might get a chance later after some training. Then Lin Han joined the stage and asked Tiny to let him try now. Chun Mei told him not to hold back against him, so Lin Han charged magic power in his fist, as he threw a strong jab to Tanyi's defensive skill. Suddenly, Tai Mei couldn't hold back that much power, and Lin Han ended up breaking through his skill in one go. The students were shocked as they saw senior Tai Mei beaten by a freshman. The referee, the vice principal, announced Lin Han's victory, and said that he would get 10 points for defeating Tai Mei's Vajra body. Now, they asked who wanted to challenge Lin Han, and this time, Fei Hua's sister, Zhang Ruoxuan, joined the stage to battle against Lin Han. Yuan Sai was very confused and wondered why Fei Hua was there, since he didn't know that Zhang Ruoxuan was her sister. He noticed it when he realized she was shorter, and had different clothes than Fei Hua. Ruoxuan felt Yumoan's sized, confused eyes, and thought that her sister was just using her name again to cause trouble. Now she announced she was about to attack Lin Han, and surprisingly, Ruoxuan also had assassin skills similar to her sister's. She formed shadows and ambushed Lin Han from different angles. Lin Han knew he needed to be careful or he might get hurt, and the way she was attacking skillfully was very much expected from Fei Hua's sister. Lin Han felt like he would have to show some of his real skills. In that case, so he closed his eyes and used eyes of truth to see through her attacks. She felt this pressure as well, and Lin Han told her that this was his skill that reveals everything around him. He found her through the shadows and threw a punch in that direction. Lin Han made sure to stop his punch right before it touched Ruoxuan, because he didn't want to hurt her. She knew it was her defeat and admitted it in front of everyone. She told Lin Han that she would win this back from him sooner or later. As she left the stage, the referee announced Lin Han's victory, and also that he had gotten 15 points. He asked who else wanted to challenge Lin Han, but the students hesitated, because they had just seen Lin Han beat some really strong people in a row. They didn't want to go against him, so a red-haired female decided to go and fight Lin Han. She shamed the others for being scared of a new student, and now she joined the stage to challenge Lin Han. However, at the same time, Jainin also jumped onto the stage and said that Lin Han was his target, and he won't let him make a fool of him like last time. The red-haired girl asked Jainin what he was doing, as he was interrupting her fight, and Jainin claimed to be wanting to teach this junior a lesson himself. Lin Han hopes John Jordan won't be embarrassed again with the little skills he has, and get printed on the wall. Like last time, Jordan accused Lin Han of launching a sneaky attack. Last time, Jainin asked the other girl, Hong Yun, to use her most powerful technique to strengthen him, and she wished him not to die from carelessness. Yuan Sai asked the vice principal if a 2 versus 1 was allowed like that, to which the vice principal replied that there were no rules in this competition, and any number of students will do. Yuan and Sai found it absurd, while Hong Yun chanted her strongest fire magic and casted it as an armor on Jianin. Jianin could feel his power being raised by this spell, and with this, he was planning to break Lin Han's limbs and make him beg for mercy. He stomped on the ground to boost his speed, and launched a fire fist at Lin Han. Lin Han knew that combination fire attack could be a problem, but he had just the right play in mind, and casted some healing magic on his hands continuously. He decided to try this tactic on Jianin, and was ready to take the attack head-on. Jianan thought he had almost attacked Lin Han, but to his surprise, Lin Han just caught his hand and started swimming around him. Like a tornado, the fire magic from Jianan got released, and formed a tornado of fire around them. The vice principal was amused at the sight of Lin Han, constantly using healing light on his hands, to protect it from burning, while using a little of wind spell to deflect the flames. He could see that Lin Han was quite great at fighting skills, after which, Lin Han threw off Jainin like a rock into the sky. After dealing with him, Lin Han charged at the other opponent, and stopped his punch right before it touched her. He told her that since she was a mage, she won't be a match for his physical strength, so it would be better for her to admit defeat. Jinan fell on the ground. At the same time, he was unable to move his body from that much damage. Yu and Sei joked that Jinan's armor turned out to be a sham product, and soon, Jinan mustered up the energy to stand up. He left a warning to Lin Han that their family was now at odds against him. Lin Han didn't get why all these losers said the same thing, and then Hong Yen admitted her defeat as well. The students clearly understood that Lin Han was a real monster, and he might even break the record of Fei Hua. Most of them decided to just sit quietly and watch the show. Then, Lin Han asked the vice principal that since no one was stepping up now, he would like to go straight to the final round, against the diamond players. The vice principal didn't expect a new student would take the final test, and he accepted his request and told him that as long as he defeated 5 diamond-level veterans, he could get 10% of Chongqing University's resources. Lin Han knew he should be able to defeat them all with ease, but he didn't want to show off too much, as it'll get him into trouble. He requested the vice principal to allow him to form a team. The vice principal told him that he could form a team with 5 members, and he got 10 minutes to prepare. The vice principal expected that a team of 5 students wouldn't be able to defeat a well-coordinated team of diamond level, but he wanted to see how far Lin Han could go. Lin Han then called his brothers to the stage, referring to his roommates, and they didn't expect to be called straight into the final round. They were more than ready to fight, even against the odds, and joined Lin Han on the stage. However, Sun Liansai pointed out that they need one more teammate. So Lin Han started looking for one from the audience, someone who doesn't drive them down. It was then that he saw Wang Ting among the students, and learned that she also went to the same university as a freshman. He figured her mage profession might make up for their team's shortcomings, so he called her onto the stage. Now Lin Han's team was formed with the people he was closest to in this university, and Wang Ting seemed quite nervous. On the other hand, the veterans of the diamond level were sharp, fierce, and confident that they would win this one. When both teams were prepared, the vice principal began the match, and the diamond ones were the first ones to make a move. The sword vanguard attacked first, and Lin Han blocked it with his staff. The swordsman was impressed by such great power, but he wanted to defeat Lin Han, to show that he should learn how to respect his seniors. Lin Han commented that his armor was very aesthetic, which annoyed the man, because a man's armor being called anything other than tough was disrespectful. At the same time, the mage from the diamond veterans casted a plant magic to trap everyone in Lin Han's team with vines. Wang Ting also got caught up in it, and the mage signaled their captain to make his move now. She followed it up with summoning plant monsters, and commanding them to attack her opponents. The monsters were about to attack Wang Ting first, and the plant mage was confident that nobody could use their full strength while in her traps. Sun Lianaxa used his spear to open a way for his teammates, but he was stopped by an assassin from the opponent's team, whereas Yuan Sai was fighting off the tank from the diamond veterans, and Tank Sinki was clashing against another fire mage. On the opponent's side, Wang Ting assured everyone that they don't have to worry about her, as she could get out of it herself. She spelled Thunderbolt on the plants, which was not effective on them at all. The plant mage laughed, since it was common sense that lightning was weak against plants. But then Wang Ting casted a fire spell, and burned away all the plant monsters rapidly. The plant mage was laughing, so she got caught off guard by Wang Ting's fire spell.